Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. It is a beautiful Monday. It is April 6th. Don't judge me. I got a Winnie. I have a Winnie the Pooh mug. Don't judge me, you know? Whoa. Here we go. Don't judge me. What's up, Emmanuel, Green, Mark, Terry, Ben, Troy, Jay, Frankie, Addicted. What's up, team? Mark is up today. Sorry, I gotta drink my coffee and wake up a little bit. But the market is up today, team. Wait, we already heard this song, right? I think we did. It's a dope song, don't get me wrong. But I think we already heard it. Right? No. Heard that one. Alright, we can leave this one up. Alright, guys, but yeah, that's about right. Yeah, look at the market today, guys. Market is up. A big gap up too. It's not just a little tiny gap up. Market's gapped up a pretty solid, significant amount here. SMPL. All right. What's up, Netron? What's up, Scott? What's up, JC? What's up, Relaxing? My voice is low? Do you mean like low as in beat? Or do you mean like low as in the volume level isn't high enough for people to hear it relative to the music? Let me know what kind of low you mean. Sorry, my wife like took down my green screen and now when I put it up, it's all like different. How about this? I'll turn the music down like here, and that should be good enough. Let me know what the volume is like relative to the music, because like I can keep the music here, you know. But let me know what the volume is actually like, though. Let's see. I think this should be a little bit better. See how like the color contrast changes drastically with this? Like I either look like I'm Edward from Twilight, you know, like a vampire, or like you could see through me. It's lighting from my green screen. Let me fix this. Is that better? Let me know if this is better. It should be better. But alright, there we go. What's up, Ken? Music loud, turn down the beats. Alright, we should be good now, right? Yeah, that's good. I'm assuming you're gonna say that's good. Still can't hear you that well. Alright. Let me turn the music down, I guess. Here, I'm gonna listen to it on my phone real quick. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. And then I'll go over the market news. Let me know if this is better. It should be better. But, alright, there we go. Nah, it's good. It's good. It's not too loud to where you can still hear me. I might turn it down a tad bit once I start actually looking up news stories. But let's look at some gappers in the market today. Number one, we got the SPY itself, so the actual market. And if we look at this, the S&P 500 is certainly going to follow this. So the S&P 500 is going to go up once the bell rings. You know, it's going to go up as soon as the bell rings. And, you know, one of the benefits is that if you have enough money, you can essentially just trade the S&P long when the bell rings because the SPY is up. And so the S&P 500 is going to compensate for whatever the SPY does once the bell rings. And with that said, you could probably just take, I don't know, you would need a bunch of shares, so you would need some bank to make bank, but it's possible and it's an easy trade, just betting off of the SPY's movement. But yeah, with that said, SPY is up. Gapping up big from 248 to 257s. We got IDEX here. I don't like the volume with that one. We got IMMU, which is gapping up. This looks like either an acquisition or a buyout or a split of some sort. Let me look up the catalyst behind this. Like I said, it looks like an acquisition or a buyout, really, is what it looks like. It could be like a 2.5 to 1 split, but maybe not. Maybe it's not any of these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and read this. Apparently, I'm wrong on all fronts with this. I'll go ahead and read this. Let me turn the volume down on my headphones, because that is too loud. Alright, there we go. But yeah, so Alright, so Immunomedics, which is IMMU, said Monday their Phase 3 confirmatory ASCENT study will be halted due to compelling evidence of efficacy. The company said the decision was based on the unanimous recommendations by the Independent Data Safety Monitoring Committee during its recent routine review of the study. I also want to say, this is all quoting from Dow Jones Newswires. Again, quote, the committee said the results observed across multiple endpoints in the study warranted early discontinuation of the trial and are indicative of potential major advance in the treatment of breast cancer. The Phase 3 confirmatory study designed to validate the promising safety and efficacy data of sacituzumab, nailed it, observed in a Phase 2 study of heavily pretreated patients with metastatic TNBC. The primary endpoint for the study is progression-free survival, and secondary endpoints include overall survival and objective response rate, among others. And so, yeah, they basically found out that their Phase 3 studies were putting out really positive results, positive efficacy percentages, and with that, they decided to go ahead and just halt it early because it's showing such good results, is what they're saying. I hate reading bio drugs because they'll throw in some kind of really confusing words there that I have no idea how to pronounce, but yeah, that's the news for IMMU. We'll see what happens. I'm surprised I don't see COVID-19 or coronavirus thrown in there just to fluff it up a little bit. You know, they'll say stuff like they're also considering the coronavirus vaccine. You know, they say that it'll go up another 30%. I'm surprised they didn't do that. What's up, Gold? What's up, Alan? What's up, Shiraz? I'm gonna just say Shiraz. She doesn't sound right. But what's up, MP? What's up, dude? China's economy started back up. I know, but the problem is you're trying to tell me that this coronavirus is so rampant in all these other major countries, and you're trying to tell me that China has been gaining no new illnesses for the coronavirus to last yesterday or the day before it was like 30 new cases. Everybody else is getting thousands. You're telling me China has 30 with billions of people? Complete and total nonsense. Just complete nonsense. It's the issue with when you have a communist government. They're gonna put out nonsense because they need to beat capitalism, right? And so we don't have any new viruses, guys. You know, our government's just so great, and you know that they just don't have any new viruses. It's complete and total nonsense. But hey, if some people believe it, let them believe it. You know. And I've been one to criticize our government. Don't get it twisted. I'm one to criticize our government. I think our government's hilarious as well. But telling people that we don't have barely any, like, you see the color of me changing? I'm like a freaking strobe light. Look at me, man. Why? It's probably because it's getting light outside here. Let me fix this so that I'm not like changing colors a bunch. Wait, no, that doesn't work. You see that, man? That's weird. I'll have to fix it later. I see myself like changing colors on screen. Anyways, but yeah, it's hilarious is all I'll say, you know? Like, yeah, like China obviously has more cases than they're putting out, man. They're just not telling us, because they need to beat capitalism. You want it in a nutshell, what's going on, why China's numbers so drastically dropped in the last 2 weeks is because China needs to beat capitalism, and yeah, so apparently they just don't get any new cases, you know, billions of people, no new cases, you know, sounds accurate. Yeah. It's funny though, you know, but hey, whatever. Alright, IDEX, gapping up. Alright, volume, I don't really like it. TWO, same thing. I can look up TWO though. Volume's a little bit better with this one. Gapping up from 242 to 330s. Alright, guys. It's my own mix of music. It's not my mix. Like, I didn't actually do any. Like, I didn't make this music, but I picked out all the songs for it. Alright, so I'm finding some catalysts for TWO. It looks like this was just from this was from Friday in After Hours. It says actions taken by the Federal Reserve to purchase agency RMBS successful in stabilizing market. Yeah, but what's the news for TWO? TWO stands for Two Harbors. Its liquidity position remains quite strong. They also announced a company update on Friday, and it had a pretty big red day on Friday as well. So maybe this is just rebounding from that with the overall market is what I'm going to assume, because I don't really see any other catalyst behind TWO. And so we'll watch it, but I don't really know if there's any other catalyst behind it. We also have Wayfair.com, which is putting in a pretty significant amount of volume and a nice gap up from 50.63 all the way to roughly 70, a little bit under 70 at 69.03. But yeah, we got like I said, we got W, which is Wayfair, that's up. Let me look up the catalyst behind this. Alright, so they saw their first quarter revenue that went up. Sorry, they saw first quarter revenue go up. They said they're on track to meet their previous guidance, and they're exceeding their first quarter revenue growth guidance as well. I'll go ahead and just read this article. It's from MT Newswires. It says, quote, Wayfair said pre-market Monday it expects to meet or surpass its previously issued first quarter guidance of 15 to 17% consolidated net revenue growth year over year and consolidated non-GAAP adjusted EBITDA margin in a negative 7.3 to 7.8% range. Gross revenue growth is at the beginning of March was slightly below 20% year over year, consistent with January and February growth rates. Sales growth, however, more than doubled towards the end of March and has continued into early April, according to the online retailer of domestic goods. So yeah, positive first quarter guidance that exceeded their expectations, and good consolidated net revenue is better year over year. Had a few good earnings that came out for W. We'll see what happens with it, but that's the results for it. We could also look at A&H here. I don't like that one. We got VIR here, which we could look up. VIR gapping up from $29 even to $38.30. Yeah, 100%. Douglas said they locked down 11.5 million people for over 45 days, but have only 86,000 total cases in the whole country. Yeah, they're full of it. They're spewing out propaganda is all it is. That's actually what they're doing. Is spewing out propaganda. Now listen, I don't think we handled this the greatest. Like, obviously, I don't think our country handled this the greatest. But China's obviously spewing out some propaganda right now. All right, so Glaxo is taking a $250 million stake in VIR. VIR is VIR Biotechnology, and as part of a collaboration for research and development solutions, GlaxoSmithKline, which is GSK.ln, said they are making an equity investment in VIR of $250 million. Companies say they will use VIR's proprietary, and this is all quoting now from Dow Jones Newswire, it says they will use their proprietary monoclonal antibody platform tech to accelerate existing and identify new antiviral antibodies, and they're going to use Glaxo's expertise in functional genomics and combine their capabilities in the CRISPR screening and artificial intelligence for VIR. Basically, they're trying to take over the world, VIR. We'll see what happens with it. I might watch this one. It's kind of in my range. Huge range, though, on the day. This thing gapped up. This thing gapped up roughly 33% relative to where it was. So roughly 33%. Roughly a third, if in layman's terms. But we'll see what happens with VIR. Alright, we also have CODX, which I've traded this one before, but it's been a while. Gapping up though, nice volume from 820 to 1085s for this one. Alright, so they obtained FDA emergency use approval for COVID-19 tests for CODX. So yeah, they received FDA emergency use approval. So not bad, from 820 to 1085. We'll see what else we got. Nothing else really looks that good with volume. I mean, I'm sure most other stocks are going to follow the market to a certain extent. We got MGM Resources up. Like I said, I'm sure most other stocks are kind of just going to follow the market because the market itself is up. So you're going to see a lot of like mid and high cap stocks like AMD, MU, Cannabis, CGC, Cron, Roku, SQ, Tesla. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of those gap up today. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. I'm not seeing any catalyst for this one. What's up, Douglas? I'm good, man. I'm chilling, man. Alright, but yeah, we'll see what happens. That's about it. Like I said, we can look at the SPY itself, and I can look over some overall catalysts in our market because it's up so pretty significantly, and I think I should probably do that here. Let me see. And we can always come back, and I can always read some more market catalysts here. Like I said, man, I got a Winnie the Pooh mug. Don't judge me, Look at the market as I say that, though. It's spiking up here. It's at 258s roughly. What's up? Top of the morning to you, bro. Alright. We got people spamming our Discord, man. We get so many people that just spam our Discord, bro. I appreciate them showing us. It's both people, though. Thank you. At least they're showing me it's who it is. FAH. So many people that spam our Discord, man. We've got like thousands of people in there now, but Alright guys, we got 150 people in here now. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Click the subscribe button if you want to watch this live. We do this live every day. We actually day trade into the open at the bell, so you can actually watch this trade live. And so if you haven't done it yet, hit the subscribe button, and if you click the bell, you'll get a notification every time we go live, which is, again, every weekday morning right here on YouTube. Show support for what we do here. We're just a free resource and community. I'd appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button, team. Alright, guys. Oh, judge me, Dave. I'm ready for it, bro. Judge me, man. But yeah, SPY's up. Let me see if I can find the market news behind this. Alright, so I'm getting a few catalysts here. Number one is New York Fed accepts all $6.3 billion of bids submitted for 28-day repo operation. We also have a quote here from the UK Prime Minister Johnson, who I believe has the coronavirus, and he said, quote, "Last night on the advice of my doctor, I went into a hospital for some routine tests. As I'm still experiencing coronavirus symptoms, I'm in good spirits and keeping in touch with my team." That was a tweet from UK Prime Minister Johnson. This week in weed news and cannabis news, it shows here that 53% of Americans believe medical marijuana dispensaries should be considered essential services. Hey, let them put that out there, especially at this point in time, man. People need something to get their mind right in these times of confusion, you know. I'm for it. Let them be legalized. I don't know. Essential services, I don't know. The definition of essential is so subjective, though. That's the issue. It's such a subjective definition. It's like, technically you could say somebody at McDonald's is essential, or you could say bartending is essential. You know what I mean? Like, the reality is bartending is probably the least essential thing you need here. It's obviously just preference. Like, I could grab a beer and make it at home. I could throw some vodka in a cup and drink it from home. You don't need a bartender for that. And so by that logic, bartenders aren't really essential. But I get it. People want to work and be able to work, but the definition is so subjective. With that said, though, go ahead and do it. You know, let dispensaries be considered essential. I'm not mad at them. All right, Democrats are more likely than independents and Republicans to say this. I mean, water's wet as well. What's up, Chris? President Trump also said the U.S. is very far down in the line on developing vaccines for the coronavirus, and said that we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, here's the thing, though. Very far down the line can be interpreted two different ways, right? And that's the confusing part of this article. Very far down the line could be interpreted as they're lagging behind. They're very far down at the end of the line, which means they're like lagging behind. Or it could mean they've already done a bunch of work on it. And so the definition of that expression is a little bit subjective, in my opinion. But whatever. Bill Ackman is beginning to get optimistic. Bill Ackman shorted the market a few months ago, and he's made billions from this crash. If you don't know about Bill Ackman put out a documentary called Betting on Zero. He was essentially betting on Herbalife's failure. And just to put it into perspective, Herbalife is a terrible multi-level marketing pyramid scheme company. And he basically bet $1 billion or so that they would fail. Problem is, it's super profitable. It's ripping all of its distributors off, but it's super profitable. And so I think he actually lost money in that last trade. Regardless, Bill Ackman bet that the market would crash once he found out about the coronavirus, and I think he's made over $1 billion from this. And I can go ahead and quote this. This is from BZ Newswires. It says, quote, I'm beginning to get optimistic, and this is from Bill Ackman. He said in a series of tweets Sunday afternoon, cases appear to be peaking in New York. Almost the entire country is in shutdown. Hydroxychloroquine and antibiotics appear to help. There is increasing evidence that the asymptomatic infection rate could be as much as 50 times higher than expected, and if this is true, the severity and death rate could be much lower than anticipated. We could be closer to herd immunity than projected as well, is something Bill Ackman put out, and I tend to agree with him in that front. Yeah, Mitch is in Denver too. Alright, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Still looking at the market news, and then we have the ETF preview that came out. I'm gonna go ahead and quote this, and this is from MT Newswires. It says, quote, stock futures are on track to trade higher as investors are cautiously optimistic, discussing some positive developments regarding the COVID-19 pandemic. New York Governor Cuomo on Sunday said the number of deaths from the outbreak in New York has declined from the first time, and New York reported 594 new coronavirus deaths on Sunday compared with 630 reported on Saturday. There have also been reports that the number of fatalities from the coronavirus has slowed in Italy and Germany, and meanwhile, the People's Bank of China will reduce the reserve requirements imposed on small banks by 100 basis points starting April 15th, Reuters reported. The move will inject 400 billion RMB, which is roughly 56.4 billion US, into Asia's economy, the report added. To look at the commodities here, and like I can see, you can see the market up a huge amount from 248 to 257, so a pretty big jump here in the market. We could also look at stuff like oil, which seems to be down. Let me see, I can look at the US oil fund, it's probably the right way to look at it. Oil is down. Crude is down roughly 2%. The U.S. oil fund is down over 3%. Natural gas is up 3%. And we can look at natural gas here, like UGAZ. Yeah, it's up. This blue line is the previous closing price. Gold is up over 1%. Spider Gold Trust is more than 1% higher. We can look at gold as well. Up solid here. And the iShares, and then silver is up 2%. The iShares Silver Trust is up roughly 1% for SLV. But yeah, that's the market today, guys. We'll see what we get. It's actually a pretty crazy market, pushing up a decent amount here. John coughed, he's got COVID. Hey, I might, bro. Maybe I do. Boeing is closed indefinitely. BA's Boeing, right? Yeah. You mean close to the public is what I'm assuming. Let me see. I can look up the news here. Yeah, Boeing extended the shutdown of Puget Sound hub amid coronavirus pandemic. Alright. It's at 8. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was at 8:30. I had my alarm set for 8:30. It's alright. It'll be alright. Sorry, my daughter's up. And my daughter has school. Alright, sorry guys. But yeah, Boeing, I'm looking at news releases for Boeing here. Alright, let me catch back up on the chat. I'm sorry, I've been neglecting you guys this morning, and I apologize about that. Mostly I get my news from TD Ameritrade, Thinkorswim, Thinkorswim's news area. What website? Every death is labeled, yeah. I work in oil facilities and they are shutting down some of them. Yeah, I have some friends that work in the oil field. I mean, obviously, I'm from Louisiana, and so a large majority of people I grew up with work in the oil industry in one form or another. With that said, though, I got a lot of them that are actually they're still working. I have a few buddies that are actually still working and doing it. They're still going to the plants, and so, you know, if anything, that might be considered essential, though. The real numbers won't come out ever, but when that does become, but even when that does become, the number will be washed into total deaths without separation to get more aid and relief from international response, for sure. Yeah, BA is open. Yeah, it's open. Yeah, I mean, BA's moving. I think he's probably talking about their factories, though, but BA's certainly moving. What are they telling COVID-19 people do to get better at home? I don't know. More people died from the ordinary flu. Well, that's not the scary part about this. The more people have died from the flu because the flu's been out, you know, way longer, and we have accurate analytical tools to study and tally up how many cases actually have the flu, and so it's a lot more transparent with the actual flu. The reason the coronavirus is dangerous and deadly and people are scared of it is because it's a new virus the reason they call it the novel coronavirus. Novel stands for new, and that means it comes from animals from a certain extent, and when it comes from animals like that, our human immunity does not fight it as well, and so it's a little bit more damaging. And sure, more people die from the flu, but relative to how many cases there are in the world, on a case-by-case basis, more people die from the coronavirus relative to the flu. Of course, the flu has been out there way longer, and we can study it and we can test it. Here, we're just now starting to get accurate tests from the coronavirus, and so with that said, the mortality rate on the coronavirus is certainly higher, especially for pre-existing health conditions and the older population. With that said, though, you know, the reason everybody's freaking out about the coronavirus is because it's new and it's not as well understood. And so, you know, understandably so. New to the stock game, what you guys suggest I could put some money on? I mean, I'm mostly a day trader, and so you'll see me like scalp short-term moves a lot. I've been super profitable. I only had one losing day last week, and so it's been my trading's gone really well. But with that said, I'm really not a long-term or fundamental investor, and so I don't want to tell people the wrong answer. I don't want to tell people, yeah, buy this stock and then it just crashes, or don't buy this stock and then it just ramps up and just be wrong, because I'm not a fundamental investor. Like, I go over catalysts and fundamental news, and then Mitch trades some fundamental moves as well. And so because I do have a partner here, Mitch, that runs this stream with me. But with that said, you know, I don't want to tell people, I don't want to try to come off as an expert and tell people any of my thoughts on it, specifically with long-term investing, because again, I'm just not a long-term investor, and so I'd probably tell people the wrong answer, you know. I mean, my day trading strategies work. People say you can't be successful day trading. That's not accurate. The real reason is because it just takes a long time to understand and study the market, and you got to do it every day. I have live streamed all of my trades for months, everything. You can see all of my trades. Can't fake that if I wanted to. And last week I had one losing day out of 5. The week before that I had 0 losing days. and I streamed it all live on YouTube, so I can't fake that. But I'll be right back. My daughter's waving me down. What is it? All right. Here, Maddie. No, don't mess with stuff right now. Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, and that's probably a little bit accurate. Listen, I'm very anti-media, Dave, so I tend to agree with you that the media is definitely hyping this thing up a little bit over what it really should be hyped, especially considering, listen, you got a certain percentage of the population that just believes whatever the media tells you. Or tells them, right? You got a certain percentage that just does. They just believe whatever the media tells you. And so they're going to argue the media's point every time. And a lot of time they're going to disguise it as their own opinion, and they're going to use science and stuff like that. And I agree with the science to a certain extent. But I also think the media is obviously hyping this thing up, making it a little bit worse than it should be. But at the same time, I would rather be over cautious than under cautious in these type of situations, just because I do have, my family, my parents are older, my parents are in their 60s, and so I would rather than be overly cautious, but we'll see. I mean, I've scaled up in the last week, man. I've been trading, last week I made at least, 700 gross. So I've scaled up. I've been trading with 500 to 1,000 shares, at least, usually a few times a day. And so I've scaled up significantly. I usually start the stream small, but watch the stream last week. I ended almost every day up over $100. I was like up 160, 170, 200. And so I have scaled up effectively. It took me a long time though. But the last 3 weeks I've scaled up and I've been killing it in the market. I've been making solid wins. A thousand times more likely to die in a car accident. Yeah, but I mean that's a very misleading, argument here, because that's like me saying, oh well, 1,000 people die in a car wreck, and so we shouldn't worry about the flu, and we should just let people catch the flu, or 1,000 people die in a car wreck, and so we should just not worry about drug overdoses. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an argument. It's a completely independent. Those two things are completely independent of each other, and so again, I think that is a misleading argument actually. But in the end, I get it, guys. I get both sides. I'm not picking sides. Right, and the reason the coronavirus is scaring people is because, one, it comes from animals, and so our human immunity is not as well built to fight it, because over the years we have developed, and over our ancestries we have developed immunities to the flu itself and the different versions of it, and so our bodies can fight it a little bit better. With the coronavirus being, the N again stands for novel, which just means new, and that means it comes from animals. It's a new version of the coronavirus. This one comes from animals, and because of that, our bodies are not as built and have not developed enough immunity that we need to fight it, and so it's a little bit more dangerous. And again, one of the biggest things is that it's unknown to a certain extent. We don't know exactly how it's going to affect everybody. The flu has been studied for a long time, this is not, and so it's a new thing. And when we have a new virus that just kind of comes out there and starts to kill as many people as it has, it is cause for an alarm, and I think people have to understand both sides of that and not dismiss it as just something that's not a big deal, but also not overhype it as well. And I think there's a very fine line between the two. You know, it's very hard for people to be objective about these things, if that makes sense. And so it is what it is, you know. Hey, let's chill out there, guys. You know, listen, we could all love each other here. Right, COVID is not new, but what I mean by, this version of it is, COVID has been around. You can find COVID on spray bottles, you know, on disinfectant bottles. You know, will kill the coronavirus, but there's lots of different versions of the coronavirus, and this one is a new one that comes from animals specifically. So with that, you know, the coronavirus is usually some form or another of the coronavirus is what causes the common cold. If you've had a cold in the last few years, it's probably from a coronavirus. The difference, though, is, again, this one's a new one that we don't understand and know as well, and this one comes from animals. And so, again, our human immunity is not as well built to fight it. Dude, I'm not going near a hospital, bro. Hey, what's up, Justin? Good morning, brother. Alright, guys, it is 8:11. Let's do this. We got about 19 minutes left. We got 250 people in here, so if you could, hit the like button. Show your support for what we do here. We do this free every day. We are not experts or gurus here. We just teach people what works for us and trade live so you can see it. And so hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We've honestly been going like crazy. We've been growing by like 1,300 subscribers a month, and that rate is slowly growing higher and higher. And so I appreciate all the love, guys. I really do. We're soon to hit 20,000. We're at roughly 20,000 now. We're soon to hit it in the next few weeks. I think we'll probably hit that. Music loud. My bad, guys. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Tom. We've also had a few other subs today that I missed. RLB, Ryan, appreciate the love, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, but yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, for sure, Mr. Fishbone. I just think there's new developments of it. How do you decide how many shares you will buy? Well, it really depends on my risk level, right? So if my risk level, if I only want to risk $100, and and my risk level is 10 cents, then I can take 1,000 shares. If I want to risk $100 or less, and my risk level is 20 cents, then I can take 500 shares. If it's 40 cents, I can take 250 shares, and so forth and so on. And that way, I'm protecting myself regardless of what the risk is. That's what I'm using to determine it. I'm not just guessing what my share size is going to be. It really is relative to the risk level I have in that trade. If my risk is 10 cents, I'll take 1,000 shares. If my risk is 20 cents, again, I'll take 500, and so forth and so on. And so I can kind of give myself an accurate level where if I only want to risk $100, I can calculate my share size accordingly and adjust it. That's what I've been doing. Again, I don't think I usually risk $100. I might risk like close to that, maybe 50, 100, I don't know. But it depends on what my risk is, that's for sure. What's up, Tom? Hey, from England? Nice, man. My ancestry is England, but hello from Texas. I guess me and everybody else in America, right? What's up, Lil? Yeah, I kind of agree with you. What's up, Peter? I appreciate the sub, bro. Welcome, man. What's up, Buzz? Oh, man, you see my green screen, man? My green screen's messing up. It's been messing up for a while. Let me fix this. Oh, it's not my green screen, actually. It's because I messed with my... There we go. That's actually better. It's because I turned my, that's why my green screen's been messing up today. I turned my screen the other day. What's up, Buzz? What's up, Chris? Alright, guys, but yeah, that's the market, guys. Like I said, we can look at a few other things. Let me see if I can find any other catalysts today. Again, we can take a look at Tesla. I'm mostly going to be watching, again, this one's moving up. I'm mostly going to be watching like microchip and cannabis stocks today, like AMD, MU. Like I said, CGC, Cron, ENPH maybe, Roku, Disney. I'll probably watch all of these, see if I can find something to trade. But again, the big gappers of the day are IMMU, and this one, I'll go ahead and read this one's release again, just because it's probably the biggest gapper of the day. Alright, and so this one is up. They hired a new CEO. They said pre-market that they have appointed Haru Samaraj as Chief Executive Officer starting April 16th, and he has 25 years of experience in life sciences, with most recently serving as Chief Commercial Officer at Ipsen. So I don't know if that's causing this spike up here. I think more so than that news. The ASCENT study is going to be stopped early for compelling efficacy. So yeah, they announced that their ASCENT study is going to be stopped for compelling evidence of efficacy, and they announced their phase 3 confirmatory ASCENT study will be halted due to compelling evidence of efficacy, and the decision was based on the unanimous recommendation by the independent, and this is all quoting again from Globe Newswire, the decision was based on the unanimous recommendation by the Independent Data Safety Monitoring Committee, which is the DSMC, and during its recent routine review of the ASCENT study. And so, yeah, they're basically halting it early for positive efficacy, which is a good thing. We'll see what happens. It's a biotech stock. Again, gapping up a pretty big percentage at this point. It's gapping up roughly 100% now. And so a huge gap up. We'll see what we get here. But again, gapping up from around 940 to 1980. Almost exactly 100% actually. Very close to almost exactly 100%. Gap up from, again, 940 to 1980. It's almost, like I said, it's pretty spot on to 100% gap up. So we'll watch this one. I might keep an eye on it. It's right around in my price range, but the range is big, which makes me a little bit more nervous to trade it, to be honest. John, let us see your trades today. I've been letting you guys see your trades. I try to rotate it. I've been scalping, and so it's a little bit difficult to have my screen up all the time, but I'll try. I mean, like I said, you guys see my P&L every day. So, I mean, you guys see it regardless, but I'll try to catch it mid-trade, because again, it's super difficult. Because with scalping specifically, you have to kind of focus. You have to be kind of laser focused, and so it's like, unless I'm just going to leave my screen up there all day, I kind of have to rotate back and forth between Mitch, especially if Mitch is trading. And so with that, I'll try to leave my screen up more today. But, like I said, with scalping, it's a little bit more difficult, for sure. Yo, what's up, Mitch? You there, bro? Alright, let me get Mitch in here. How's that? Let me know how the volume is. What's up, Britain? Hey, I appreciate the sub, bro. Welcome to the team, man. Thank you for the sub. Let me know what the volume's like here. I kind of turned it up a little bit. It should be better. But let me know what it's like. Yo, what's up, man? Alright, guys, we got Mitchy Rich in here. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? What's going on, guys?
Let me fix this.
Here you go for all you NIO lovers.
Oh, we had a few people asking about that. I forgot to look that one up. If you want to go over it, let me throw you up.
NIO lovers, 243, 574,000 shares were bought at the close at 350. Just to give you guys a price. If we could look at the chart, you'll see it's right now at 250. 243 is very important. 574,000 shares went through.
Nice. Go, what are you talking about? Me, bro? I'm miserable and lonely, dude. Trust me. I'm here with I have 2 kids and a wife that are in the same house with me. If anything, I'm the opposite of lonely. If anything, I would like some free time sometimes here because we're on top of each other and we've been here for weeks. And so, yeah, like I said, if you're trying to talk about me, I live with 4 people, bro. I'm not lonely at all. If anything, it's the opposite. Sorry, Mitch. Go ahead.
What's up, everybody? How we doing, everybody? Good morning. Let's do this.
We got Mitchy Rich in here. Mitchy Rich.
We need to make some money.
What's up, Lewis?
I think we might actually have an update before the crash.
Yeah, I mean, market's up solid today, man. We're looking good today.
Well, I think this is just a fake out, but
no.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, though, you're always short, This one, we're finally up today, so we're up to like 258. We might crash at the open. That's plausible, too. But, it is a big gap up.
Yeah, it's just creating a bigger range. That's all it's doing. It's just a range trap. SPY goes down to the bottom range, pops up to the top of the range, comes down to the range, comes up to the range.
Right.
In the end, if you look at it, we've been stuck in a range between, I would say, 263s and 218. It's a big range there on the weekly. That's what you got to watch.
Yeah, for sure. It should be.
Which way are we going to break out on the weekly?
Right.
It really doesn't matter daily. It's more about the weekly chart now. It's about bigger time frame charts, about figuring out, is this the bottom or was the bottom already placed in on the weekly chart? I think that's what you need to look out for, and that's what I'll be looking.
My parents thought I was selling drugs. The ad on your live stream. What's up, Too Fast? Good morning, bro. What's up, Chris? New to the channel. Yeah, like I said, I think it might drop as well, but it does look strong this morning. And like I said, for me, it really doesn't matter which way it goes. It can go up, I'll still, trade it. It can go down, I'll still trade it.
So my idea is this is only up not because of the coronavirus numbers, but because of oil. That's just my eyes.
Yeah.
I think oil is what's pushing the market. There's so many big investments that were placed in oil last week, just thinking that it could come back because they were hit so bad that, hey, why not take $1 risk on the downside for a potential, let's say like an MRO, a potential $3, $4 move up. I think that's what they're looking for. You look at the volume in the oil stocks, they definitely got hit with some buy volume. Now the question is OPEC going to really do the supply cuts? That's what's going to help the market here. I think that's what really the market's watching. The market is watching coronavirus, but I think it's too early to tell. It's too early to tell if there's a curve if we're flattening out the curve. It's too early to tell the earnings, and it's too early to tell the economical impact. So everything is just kind of speculation from here. The only thing that it actually has some value to it is if oil really starts coming back. I think that's like an actual value, something that you can actually place value in the news. And I think this is just all the volume that's gotten into oil, bringing the market back. And there was going to be a meeting today, and it was pushed back. Now, the question is, how far would that meeting be pushed back? And if they're going to meet tomorrow, think watch that.
Right, for sure. I mean, oil's down today. Oil's been down or the U.S. oil. I think oil's down like 2%.
And why is oil down? Because the meeting wasn't done.
Oh, yeah, that's plausible. Let me see.
No, it's 100% it, bro. I look at oil a lot. Here.
Okay.
I can put up the kind of the.
Yeah, the meeting was postponed.
That's the big idea. And why was it postponed? Trump tried to push it to make it happen. He put the pressure on the CEOs on Friday, on the U.S. CEOs, to push Saudi and Russia. Now, what ended up happening was the Saudis started breaking. They started saying, okay, we'll do something. But then the Russians stepped in here, and the Russians said they rescheduled it for Thursday. They pushed back. Putin ended up blaming Saudi Arabia for violations of year-old OPEC agreements. So that's really what's important here, guys. It's Putin. Watch Putin. Whatever he says, if he changes his mind, I think oil is going up. If he doesn't, oil is going to still get hit. And Putin's the type that when he gets stuck on something, he's stuck on it. So watch that. I think that's very important. If he changes his mind and says, okay, I'll ease up. I'm willing to do supply cuts also. Let's start saving oil here. But the question is, what will happen there? I don't know if it's going to be a yes or a no. My idea is this is a more economical impact than just some numbers slowing down in coronavirus. Numbers slowing down doesn't give us economical relief. It just gives us speculation. This could actually give us economical relief.
2017 flu season, 7K deaths in the USA with a mortality rate of 10% at its peak. 10%.
All right, guys, let's start watching. Let's start getting ready for the open here. Biggest stocks to watch, stocks that are looking really weak. Guys, yeah, we did get a pop in those carnival stocks and the other stocks that have been really dropping last week. So what I think is going to happen here is kind of consolidation time, guys. I do not think these stocks are pressured down enough right now to break through their daily lows, like let's say CCL. You see the daily low right there at 790? It's very hard for a stock to be that close to the support and then just go straight through the support. Reason why is when we have daily charts, what do we get? We get people to buy off the daily chart. We get people to bag buy because the daily support's underneath it. But if you look, the resistance is way higher. The resistance could push up to 1271. I think that's very important to watch today. You could get some kind of consolidation period now for a couple days in these stocks before they try to break the support or try to reverse all the way back up there. So definitely today, I'm not so kind of gunning to the wheel or going to be gunning as soon as the bell rings because there's so many stocks that got pushed down, and so they could get a pop back, but it could be a very limited pop back. It could just be a pop back to the nearest resistance. And so with that can come a whole bunch of consolidation. All right, guys, getting ready for the bell here, about less than 2 minutes. So let's get ready. Let's do this. My watch today is going to be gold, guys. I really like gold today. Reason I like gold, guys, is just been holding up for a while now, guys. What ended up happening is we got a first push in March when the stock kind of crashed. And then everyone was like, whoa, I should get into gold. This caused a massive downturn in gold. It actually pulled back all the way to 1257s. And now it's all the way back up there to 20s. So it trapped a lot of longs in this area. People were starting to get long. Eventually, people did get long in 16s when it came ripping back. But I'm definitely watching gold today. It's up. And I think, if we are going to get this down move in the market, eventually you should see some great investment in gold and you could get a push up.
All right, guys. Sorry, I'm back. There's the bell. Let's do this. Let me get this ready.
Yeah, man, gold on watch today for me, for sure. I think gold will be a nice one today. All right, I can tell you right now, quick rip RCL.
There we go. All right, I had to fix that. What's up, guys? All right, let's do this. All right, so we just broke a low of the day in the overall SPY itself. Not a huge move quite yet. We'll see what we get. The S&P 500, we should see it go up now, though. Just because the SPY is up so much, the S&P 500 is going to compensate from it to a certain extent. CGC big drop.
Watching oil right now.
All right, we got 335 people here, guys. Hit that like button. Let's bring that number up to over 100 if we can. Hit that subscribe button as well if you haven't.
The one that I'm seeing really start getting a bounce up with this is going to be retail stocks, guys.
It's hard to say, Samuel. I'm not much of a fundamental investor, brother. So really just don't want to say the wrong answer. All right, so the S&P 500 is about to break highs, it looks like, but still slight at this point.
MU looking really positive today.
And here's the thing, you know what is a strategy that I was thinking about trying, Mitch? Is that I could probably buy at least 100 to 200 shares of the overall S&P 500, right? Whenever the SPY gaps up like this, considering the S&P 500 doesn't have pre-market data, it's always going to compensate to a certain extent of what the SPY does. So if the SPY gaps up big, the S&P 500, at least initially at the open, is going to surge up some. And so if I can buy 100 shares and take that compensating move, it sounds like a pretty easy way to bet. I might start trying to do that since I do have enough buying power to actually do it. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Clifford. Thank you, bro.
I can explain you a little bit more about that off stream. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but there is a way. What you're doing is called arbitrage trading. Right. There's a way of doing it, but we need access to the imbalances and we need access to pre-market trading.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the two things that you would need. Reason why is that you would want to know the futures market. You have to start knowing futures if you start doing that.
But I think that's what the SPY is influenced by, is futures. And so I could use the SPY as a judge for that. And then if the SPY gaps up huge, when the S&P 500, just scalp that up for the compensating move.
That's what's done almost every day.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. You just got to have enough buying power to purchase that S&P 500, which is expensive. It's like $2,700 or $2,600 a share. So, but yeah, it doesn't sound like a terrible idea. But
no, it's not. It's a good arbitrage strategy. It's just very difficult. Also, something you have to start learning the overall market. Also, rely on that no news catalyst comes and changes the market, which is hard.
LK getting hammered.
UAL going up and down.
so here's AMD here. I do have this range. S&P 500 is breaking lows, and I might jump in on AMD real quick for a quick little scout. It's got to get under this 44 level, I think, first.
Oil trying to collect some volume down here.
Alright, so we got a little bit of a bounce. If the SPY breaks the low of the day here, I might short into this market.
Oil getting cracked there.
Hey, no worries, Samuel. No worries, bro. Yeah, I'm watching the LK drop.
APT, good move up there, guys. APT with a good move up. Right now the risk in Omni is down to 675. I'm going to keep an eye on that one.
Alright, SPY just broke lows here. Might bounce right there, though. It wasn't a firm break. Looking at AMD, really considering shorting this one. I need some more weakness in the market, though, first.
VWAP bounce possibility in retail.
AMRN took a big drop this morning, man. AMRN, oh yeah, I forgot AMRN's about to crash. I don't want to trade that one anymore. Just looks too weak.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. One that looks like a daily breakout. It could pull back today before it pulls out, but Peloton's still looking very strong, guys. Support is 2766.
We need one more like, guys. Hit that like button. We'll have 100 likes. We got 354 people in here. Do it for the Winnie the Pooh coffee mug, man. Do it for the coffee mug. MU had a beautiful bounce off the VWAP. Alright, SPY cracking lows. Like I said, I kind of wanted to short into AMD. I'm more so going to look at MU, I guess. Maybe Disney. Alright, there's the low of the day break in the market itself. I'm going to look to short maybe into Disney here with a few shares. It just depends. I don't hate this one. Let me see what we get.
All right, guys. One that I like for a short is JD. Needs to come back up here to 4066.
It's weird, even though the market's down slightly, we actually have a lot of stocks that are kind of up, like Roku, AMD, MU. They're technically green on the day. I'm gonna wait for a little bit less chop here, though.
Looking for a bounce in JD to get short.
There we go. We got 122.
AMD, MU looking strong.
Nice, Justin. Nice trade, brother. Alright, nice little weakness that we're seeing in the... I'm gonna get in with Disney with the small... I said I wanted to short Disney, and look at that support line hold, man. Or that resistance line hold. Bummed out at it and short into it, but called it out.
All right, guys. Got a really cheap stock for you guys if you guys want to see a stock that's moving strongly today. But really cheap is Groupon. That's GRPN.
Alright, there's the market. Pull it back down. GRPN. That's too cheap for me. 90 cents. Too cheap.
That's a dollar magnet right there. That's what I call those.
Yeah, at this point, my microchip stocks are kind of trending away from the market. The market's down, they're up, and so I gotta wait for...
Cruises flipped down. Cruises just flipped down, guys. Could see CCL drop here. I know RCL and NCLH looking really bad today. Did you hear even Warren Buffett got out of his DAL, or at least 18% of his position?
I really don't blame him, man. You know,
Too much risk.
yeah. Market actually bouncing up here to the VWAP. Market's at 257.40s.
All right, guys, getting ready to go short on JD here.
I'll put you up.
Biggest thing is we need to pop above VWAP here.
Market squeezing up. Looking at Disney, if I do short it, it's gonna be a small size, but I'm gonna wait, I think. S&P 500 and the SPY are pulling back a little bit. I think 257.50 is gonna be a big level. Might reject right at 257.50 for the SPY. But it is the VWAP. It's also the opening range low, which are both significant levels.
Looking for a push in the 60s, not getting it, guys. It's holding the VWAP. Could just fade off of it.
It's just, what I mean cheap is that it's cheap relative to the stocks I usually trade. I'm not saying on a fundamental basis it's cheap. I'm saying that it's lower priced than most of the stocks I usually trade. Looking at Disney maybe for a fade here, if we can get some weakness on Disney.
Fade looked really good in JD.
In order to take it though, we're going to need a break under 96, and then I'm just going to scalp under the whole dollar. Going to keep it very small for Disney, but haven't touched it yet. Which haters dislike the video? You know, you get some insecure people, man. People are fickle and insecure, you know? It's like people, they say they want you to do well and they want you to, like, you know, even like friends, but most of the time, it never feels good to see somebody else, you know, do better. And, you know, haters are there. You know you're doing something right if you have haters. I'll say that. You know. All right, here's that move under here for Disney. The only reason I don't like it is because the SPY actually broke the VWAP and is heading up now. Mitch's test froze, so I put a different one up. I put mine up.
My everything froze.
It's that Comcast life, bro.
Bro, I'm so annoyed with them. I'm calling them today.
Hey, $700 in 3 minutes.
I'm telling you, I'm calling them today. They're gonna hear about it.
Whoa. Weird.
Comcast's butt.
Man, weird. My window just went down automatically. Hey, nice, Justin. Keep killing it, man. Nice work. Yeah. Right, but Justin, you're not insecure, bro. Like I said, you get people, the insecure people can't handle it. right? Like, if people get insecure, right, they don't want, they say they want to see you do well, but they really don't, man. They really don't. They really are secretly rooting for you to fail. And I think it hurts to see somebody do well. And you know, I think it's human nature to a certain extent.
Oh man, missed the oil. Missed that oil move. Oil moved up pretty significantly there.
I'm getting a notification on Thinkorswim that says we are experiencing issues with CME orders. Please call the trade desk if you need immediate assistance. Market's about to break from green or from red to green though, so the market's about to go green on the day. It looks like it's pulling up to test it now.
All right, just shorted a little bit there, guys. Risking off the 80s here. It's about to get stopped out immediately, but it's okay. It's only $10. Let's see if it holds here. $40.90s will get me out.
All right, we're pulling closer to the break on the SPY here. It's kind of such a big range, it's hard to see it. The high of the day is 258.20, so we are at 257.90, so we're about 30 cents away. All right, getting closer, and we're testing the high of the day now for the market. Yeah, I'm gonna stop watching Disney now. Alright, we got a little bit of a rejection there. Yeah, you got that notification too. No. Isaac's just trolling. He really didn't dislike our video. He's a good dude, Chris. He's just messing with me, man. He really didn't dislike it. He's just joking with me. He's an OG here, Chris, so don't dislike his videos. He's just joking, man. But I think the sarcasm...
Alright. One that I'm liking, guys, NCLH. I think it might reverse here.
Alright, so the market actually just broke highs. It's up to 258.20s. So market just ripping up, breaking highs. I'm going to take 200 shares here of MU. Going to keep it pretty light though.
Alright, guys, just got a good rejection there from JD.
Nice surge here. What do I have? I have 200 shares. Okay, nice. I'm going to sell half here. Just took half off of my trade on AMD. Holding another 100 shares. Don't mind letting this ride up to see if it could test the whole dollar. Gonna take another half off there. Gonna holding 50 shares left. Gonna let this right up to test 45. Yeah, I'll put mine up. Somebody was asking me. Small trade for my first one, like it always is, but again, I was watching the market break highs. You can see the market push up and break highs here, and so I just rode this one up.
Looking for this 5-minute candle to hold and close below 90s. Then I'll hit my ad and hold towards that.
There's 84s. I'm going to be pretty strict with this last little bit. I'm going to get out there and just take my money. So about a $20 win, first trade this morning. I'll put Mitch back up now, but small trade. We'll see what else we can find. Usually my first trade is pretty small, and I'll slowly scale up from there.
Next candle's gonna open here. You can't let it go past 90s. I already had the stop place. If it rejects from there, we can add on the opening of the candle.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, that would just kind of separate our viewers, though, and that would be too. It would be too separate. You know, we like keeping it on one screen, and we manage it the best we can. You know.
All right, guys, just hit the ad, holding off a 90s here.
The word I was thinking for, Chris, would be divisive. That would be too divisive. You know. What's up, Sterling? What's up, man? Isaac says I'm old. I don't have social media. Can't dislike if I don't have anything. Yeah, just for everybody who thinks Isaac's like a big hater, he's not. He's just messing with us. He's a good dude. He donated money to me last Friday, so you know he's a good guy, man. Maybe I should have held AMD. Like I said I wanted that 45 test, and there's the 45 test. Just a huge squeeze up.
Gotta be careful here, guys. Just gotta hold to my limit. That's all it is, guys. If we get a red candle from here, we're gonna add.
What's up, Super Vet? Man, AMD pushed up another few cents. I kept it small, but wish I would have held that.
I'm right there on my breaking point, guys. Let's see what happens.
Okay, was a nice fade. CODX. Hey, thanks, John. Thank you, man. Yeah, CODX. I know it had a positive catalyst that came out for it. I think it came out with it got fast track designation for COVID-19 tests, if I remember it correctly. I wouldn't want to mess with it. It doesn't look bad for a rejection, but it's just not really my style, John. If you're trading it though, I hope you kill it, man. Nice work. Looks good. Just not quite my style, unfortunately.
About to get out, guys. 93s. Anything fills here? Not seeing anything fill at 93. 90s. Just rejected it. I didn't see anything go through at 93.
No, we're not trading Forex. We're trading stocks. Alright, so the next big level in the SPY is 259. That whole dollar level's pretty big. So we might kind of consolidate in this range, but if it hits 259, we'll look for a bounce. Looks like it's actually about to break highs of the day again. It's up to 259.70s.
I get pushed out here. Just holding off my limit here. About to get a new candle in 2 minutes, in a minute.
We just broke highs of the day again in the SPY. See if it holds or it gets rejected. Yeah, that CODX VWAP projection looks good, John. You gotta have style. It's not my style, bro. It depends on what kind of stocks you're looking for, Devin. Like for instance, I watch the same stocks every day. Should have held it.
Better be careful. I'm out. Popped out. Could have just got wicked out, but I'm out.
Yeah, don't stress it, brother. Alright, we'll see what else we can find today. Market's too extended right now for me to trade it. We're just going to wait for some pullbacks, maybe some breaks, but we got to wait for them. A solid big push.
Alright guys, the one I'm looking for is Peloton now.
This track is fire. Yeah, they got some cool songs. Why is everything moving today? I think we had some optimistic quotes and numbers that came out for the coronavirus stats. I don't know how long it's going to continue, but I think that's why we're initially up, is because they said the death rate in New York is dropping and a few other things. So maybe people are optimistic. Who knows? You alright, bro?
Yep, just need a little water.
Coronavirus?
I don't have a lime.
No. Oh man, it hurts, Isaac. It hurts, bro. PTOM? What do you mean what kind of stocks I'm looking for? You could trade penny stocks, you could trade mid caps, you could trade high caps, you could trade low floats, you could trade big floats, you could trade ETFs. There's a lot of, learn what all that stuff is, figure out your style and what kind of stocks you want to trade first. When you first get started day trading, you're usually going to be pushed with like penny stock courses and strategies. The reality is penny stocks are way more difficult to trade. They're a lower percentage play. They're more random, more risky. And for new traders, I think they need to find something that they can test, and that usually is mid and high cap stocks. It just depends on how much buying power you have, though. Again, you're going to see a lot of Lamborghinis and mansions and gurus telling you to buy their course. The reality is most information on trading is publicly available for free already somewhere on the internet. And so, they're going to tell you they have some secret strategy, but the reality is markets change and strategies change consistently. And so, point is, don't buy into the penny stock gurus hype. Most of it is nonsense, and it's used to just kind of bring in new traders and try to get them to buy a course. But nobody wants to hear that, because most new traders have gotten, talked into buying penny stock courses. Alright, spy testing. Let's keep pushing up. Siri. LK getting hammered. I'm not gonna say we told you so, but we told you so. Yeah, Siri's up. I'm surprised, honestly. I'm surprised Siri's around, to be quite honest. With stuff like Pandora and market breaking highs again. Man, I missed it. With stuff like Pandora, I'm just wondering how valuable Siri really is. Everything's just so extended right now. I don't know if I trust it. Any tips on learning how to read graphs better? Just experience. You know, once you start to do it for long enough, you'll have it'll become a little bit more second nature. But at first, it's gonna be difficult. We got good free classes on it. Let me find some of these classes. I'll post them. You can check them out. Actually, you should probably look at one called Understanding Gaps in Trading. I think that's probably the most useful one to begin to understand. Check out this class right here. Yeah, AMRN is failing. AMRN, man, that thing, they found out it had bad data that came out for it. Alright, so market's squeezing up. I kind of want to just scalp a little off the top of AMD. I just don't know, or MU really, but I don't know if I should. I think it's too extended up here. I'm just going to wait.
PTON breaking out there a little bit.
Yeah,
I didn't take it.
It's all free, Chris, and so you know, everything's free on the channel. I'll explain it a little bit later, Zombie. I try not to kind of talk about it early. And plus, we're in the middle of trading, so if you want to hang out, I can explain it a little bit better later. But yeah, apparently Thinkorswim's getting issues with CME orders. I should also probably look at like Lyft and Uber. PTO inside choppy for me. Lyft doesn't look terrible. We need a high of the day break on it though. There's the market surging up again. It's the range. It's a pretty big range for Lyft. If we get a surge over 24 on Lyft, I might scalp a few off the top. Looks a little bit like a wedge, a rising wedge. Yeah, there's the pullback. One of the reasons I didn't want to take any off this top here is just too extended on the upside. What's up, Noah? What's up, man? Habib and Ferguson is officially off. Carol Baskin versus Joe Exotics is going to replace them. I'd pay to see that, you know. But yeah, I'm bummed out. Yeah, Habib backed out, man. Unfortunate. That fight is cursed. Alright, so this pullback actually might give me a little bit better entry. That's AMD if we get it around 45 maybe. Right now I'm looking at Lyft and AMD. AMD seems to follow the market a little bit closer than AMD today. Problem with Lyft is the spread. I just jumped into AMD with 200 shares. They keep it pretty easy and tight. Gonna look for it to bounce at the whole dollar. I'll get out if it breaks it. There we go.
Alright guys, I have a starter on a reversal play here. Risk is off of 45.60s here.
I just got out of half of my AMD trade. Gonna hold the next 100 shares close to break even. We'll see if we get a bigger spike here, but holding 100 more shares. Really depends on what the market gives me. Might keep this last 100 a little tight. Market pulls back, might drag this one down. Probably get out close to break even on the last little bit though, keep it green. Yeah, I'm out. Market, big drop. Got out the last break even, up a tiny amount, but green regardless.
Would like to see this candle close below 37s.
There's Lyft, break highs of the day. I was looking at that one. Oh wait. What's up, Jack?
Looking for a dead cross here at the top.
Yeah, he's supposed to announce the fight card today. I like Uber. That's not that I like it. I'm mostly a short-term scalper, so when I'm holding stocks, it's not for very long at all. And so if I like a stock, it's usually because I see some short-term momentum. But at this point, I was waiting for Lyft actually to break those highs. If you look, I had Lyft up ready, but I just missed it because I was in my AMD trade, unfortunately.
All right, I got 2 more minutes for this candle to close. Once the candle closes, anything pops up towards our entry, we're going to go ahead and add into. Good cross here on the 15, good cross on the 5. Overbought signal here for the RSI. We want to see the MACD start contracting.
Man, maybe AMD faked me out a little bit. I probably should have stuck to my original risk, which was 45. I still got a small win out of it, but I probably should have stuck to that. MU might subsequently move up here, though. We'll see. Just depends on how much the market moves here. MU is a larger range, so if I do trade it, it's going to be... I also don't mind Uber, anticipating it holds at 24, but man, maybe I should have taken it. Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize Mitch was in MU.
Not a big deal at all, man. If it squeezes me out, it's exactly your play also. So it's not a big deal.
You're holding it a little bit long term, and so mine's very short term. So
No, your move is my squeeze out, and then I'm holding for a longer term breakdown.
Right.
That's what it is. That's just all it is.
For sure. Yeah, like mine's short term, so I'd have probably gotten in and out of it already anyway.
I'm looking for 45-30s here, guys, to add.
Still kind of bummed I didn't take Lyft, man. Lyft broke highs and pulled back to it, held it as support. That's the one I wish I would have taken.
Trying to be patient here with my ad here. Good rejection there. Let's see if it pops up here in the 20s at least.
Yeah, Mitch is talking about MU. That's the one he's in.
Yeah, I'm playing a reversal here, guys. So tight risk. 1/4 of my position that I want to get in here, guys. It's only 50 shares of what I want to get in.
I wonder what Uber's at.
Lots of volume there at 45-20s, guys. Just went through.
Cannabis stocks breaking highs of the day here.
Strong move here. Missed my ad opportunity there. It's just getting risky here, so I will take it off to 45-30s. I think that was my chance there. Yeah, that was my chance. It's a little bit hard of a trade, so I need to add into it, but at the correct spots.
Yeah, I think if the SPY cracks underneath the 259.75, you should be good. It's testing that now.
One more minute on this candle. One more minute on this 5-minute candle. We want to see it head down toward the 45. That'll show a really good confirmation. You see? Right there. That's a hard crack right there. So now bounces up here to the 20s I can short into. Try to get some like 25s or 22s. Watch when the next candle comes. We're okay with a little pop up to like this area here and maybe even this high, this 45-20s. But you want to see it surging right back up to the 45-50s. That next candle could be another red candle and take us back down to 44.50s. I need to get better on the ads there, guys. I did have my chance to add at 45.29s, which is our entry. Would have been up here about 30 or 40 bucks, giving us an ability to take some off on the crackdown of 45. See if it holds this 19 here. Just wicks a little bit and comes right back down. Seeing a rip out for NCLH. Watch for the cruise lines to get hot. You see RCL breaking out, CCL breaking out there.
All right, I just took a little bit on AMD, just 300 shares, but I scalped half of it already, holding the rest. Gonna take another half off if we get up there, and then hold the rest close to break even. Gonna take another half there. Gonna hold my last little 75 here, break even.
Another big order at 45.20s. Just got filled a little bit more, guys.
Alright, I'm gonna get out the rest there. I've all traded AMD today. I'm up about 50 bucks on the day, a little bit under that. But just a quick scalp on AMD real quick.
Need this candle to close underneath 45.20s and I'll hit an add. If it does get above 45.35s, we need to get out.
Man, maybe I should have held some on AMD. It's still running. I would have liked to hold some until 75, but I'll take my little scalp win. But yeah, this is why sometimes I can't put my screen up. I know we had somebody here asking for me to put my screen up some, but when I'm in a trade like that, it's just that whole trade lasted maybe 20 seconds. It's very difficult for me to take the time to switch screens and then trade and then put it back. I might miss the move if that happens. So I just gotta do it quick. But you guys can see my P&L. But yeah, here's my P&L right here. Just $45.75 on the day. Still grinding it up though. So far, no losing trades yet. I think out of 3 trades. Hey, I'm a trendsetter, Kenny. What can I say? Oh, not for Mitch. Mitch been trading it too. I'm saying anybody else trading it. Mitch and I are trendsetters here.
About to get squeezed out, guys. Gotta be careful here.
Nice, Tony. Nice work. Oh.
It's a big order at 38s here, guys. Big order at 38s. If that cracks, I need to get out. About to get squeezed out if this breaks through that 45.38s. Is a big order there. All right, guys, there's that seller there. If he rips through, we're probably, there you go. You see? That's what I was concerned about. That rips through.
All right, market itself pushing up to test highs. We're at 260.50s. For the highs, we're at 60.45, so we're about 10 to 15 cents away from the daily highs on the SPY. I might use that burst of momentum in here as well. We'll wait and see.
That 38 seller keeps holding it up here. All right, I like that look now. It's looking better. Let's see if we can get below 45.30s here.
Market just squeezed up over the highs. It's at 260.70s. We'll see if it holds now. The previous high of the day was at 260.50 for that $0.50. And so we'll see what happens here. I don't hate Disney either, but Disney would have to break those highs up there.
All right, it's starting to look weak there. Looking to add for bounces.
Yeah, market just pulled back below that previous high of the day, so it looks good.
No, we'll be adding here.
When you say scalping off of AMD, what are you actually doing? So I am waiting for some obvious momentum in the market itself. So a lot of times I'm watching the SPY and the S&P 500, and I'm waiting for big surges in momentum. A lot of the AMD and MU aren't completely correlated with the SPY, but they do follow it to a certain extent most of the time. And so when I see a big surge in the overall market, I'm taking 10 to 15 cents from AMD and MU, getting in and getting out really, really quickly, taking advantage of the overall market's volatility is what I'm doing. And I put a video out on it the last few weekends, so check out the last weekend videos if you want to kind of see a full breakdown on the different strategies I use, and I could post that video if you want to check it out. Yeah, I'll post it right here. This one goes over the 3 most popular scalping ones that I use.
I want to see this candle close red, guys. Let this candle close red here. Definitely starting to get some trades that are extended. So that's this trade right here, guys. If it doesn't work, I get out. It is what it is.
Was waiting for maybe to get some momentum on AMD, but I'm gonna wait it out. And Lyft just ripped up here. Beautiful little triangle breakout on Lyft this morning. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Rahul. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Got about a minute left on this candle. Would like to see it finish red.
Lately today it's just been 200 shares. I'm just trading small today. Usually I'm just getting a feel for the market at first.
Big order again, 101 at 35s. That one trader keeps holding it up here.
Benjamin says, should I short the market after today? How is Dow Jones? I don't know, man. Don't want to say the wrong answer. I don't want to say yes and then it go down and then, you know, or I don't want to say yes and then it go up or down, or no and then it go down. So I'm just gonna leave it alone.
It's like you're saying, you're telling the truth. We don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows.
Not an expert, you know, especially with stuff like that, you know. No idea, you know. Like, people get so upset with us because, like, we do this and we have this stream, right? But, like, the reality is, like, we don't act like experts at all. Like, people ask us questions, like, we probably say I don't know more than we answer them, You know what I mean? Depending on, like, they ask us directional biased questions and we say, I don't know. And that's the only way I'd ever really have it. I don't know. And I don't want people to bet on my advice and lose money. And so I'd rather just say, I don't know.
100%. I agree with that.
Like, people can watch us trade, and see what we take. But that doesn't mean they're going to be... That doesn't mean they're going to work, and that doesn't mean you should, because we're all a little bit different in our personalities. We're going to be able to manage trades differently than others, and so...
All right, guys, now we want to see this crack, this 45.06 on downturn.
AMD ripping up, breaking highs here.
Some people would like to add at this point for the reversal on my chart, but I'm going to stick with the trade that I have already. It's a good amount of risk and reward, and I'm looking to add for breakdowns now. It's no longer the entry point, because the entry point puts me actually at risk. I want the trade to work in my favor now, and then from that point on, I can hold break even on the rest, which would thus take away the risk, let me increase, and look for the big win.
Yeah, I got in and got out of AMD really quick. Lost like $6, but that's my first losing trade on the day. But I've had 2 winning trades for over $20 each, and then 1 losing trade for $6.
Our target's going to be the 45.50s, and then below that, which would get us down to probably around the 20s, 25s, or 44s.
Yeah, big rejection in the market here.
That's what I wanted to see, guys. It's good timing for it to come.
Yeah, good work, bro.
So 45's crack, 45.06 cracks here, and then we'll look for any bounce to get in.
Yeah, and I hope you guys understand what we meant when I'm saying, like, Mitch and I could trade 2 different ways in 2 different directions and still both be right. Like, I got in a trade on AMD, which is kind of a related stock to MU, and I made money on it. And then he got in on the short side and with a much longer term trade, and then he's making money with it. And so even though we got 2 different directions, because our trading style is different, we can both make money from opposing directions in the same type of stock. They're both microchip stocks, but I hope you guys understand why, and how we do that.
100%. Yeah, at the end of the day, guys, there's always going to be some times where you see the complete opposite of another trader. Why is this done? It's because there's a bias in your strategy, and that's normal. It's not something to kind of ignore, but also remember that charts are also looked at as a whole. Don't look at them always at your entry point. I think this is something that a lot of traders focus on. They only look at the stock based on their entry point, and that can't be. You need to look at it overall and your entry point. I think if you take 2 analysis, it's always going to be better. All right, guys, we got that crack there. Now we're looking for this bounce up to the support, which is 45.06. Anything up in the 45s, we will add to this position.
Yeah, Mitch was shorting. I went long on AMD, so a little bit different, but yeah, same type of thing. Disney pulling back here too.
Let it get back above 45. Sorry about that, John.
Oh no, you're good. The next big level here in the market is 259.75. That was a big previous high, right around 259.75, and so I think we're gonna pull back down and test that, and we'll see what happens there. But that is a big level. And if it breaks that, the next step is kind of the VWAP. Sorry, my son's throwing a fit because he's got to do schoolwork this morning, so I might mute myself for a second. My son's screaming over there.
No worries, guys. You guys are going to see me add if it gets up to that 45.11, have the order out. So just watch the trade. Let's do it. Biggest thing is we got the RSI coming down here, RSI coming down, and MACD contracting. We want the MACD actually start heading down. This is kind of the area where I could see the bounce. So let it start contracting and pass this moving average. The 90 AMA is so important to the MACD. That's what I'm using here, guys. From here on out, guys, we no matter what cannot lose on this trade. The time frame on my chart, Jonathan, is a 5-minute time frame, guys.
Hey, I appreciate the sub. DR. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, John, I think we have someone in the chat. Maybe you can explain it a little bit better. Not the PDT rule, but also the cash rule that there is.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is, like, with a cash account, most U.S. regulated brokers are going to allow you to, hold on.
All right, guys.
I'm getting hit with an AMD trade. I'm about to get out. Yeah, I'm going to get out.
Yeah, guys. I should be adding, and I already missed my add point, so it's okay to miss sometimes, guys. This is a new strategy for me. I should have been adding somewhere in this 45, but I'm going to let it go and just work with the trade that I have right now.
Yeah, I lost about $40 on a AMD trade. I'm still about break even on the day though.
The key is we need this conversion line to cross now. You see this MACD line? We want it to cross. A push up could get us out. A push up on this purple line can get us out.
Everything's kind of pulling back.
The good thing is the 15-minute looks pulled back. The 5-minute looks pulled back. So it looks like we're heading towards this 45.50s. 64s, we'll start taking some profit, guys.
Good work, bro.
Trying something new here, guys.
I can barely hear you, but I can hear the other guy talking to you loud and clear here. Let me put my mic a little bit closer here. There we go. That's a little bit better. Should help.
All right, guys.
It's better.
Once this cracks the 70s, we'll look to take a little bit off. I have an order out to cover some at 64, but if it doesn't get there, I can also just take it off, cancel, and take some out. Canceled a little bit here. Seeing a little kind of momentum pull here. The key is the MACD. I want to see the MACD come tighter and tighter and tighter. Remember, the MACD is a lagging indicator. So both of these indicators are actually lagging. The reason why is that they move with the moving averages. At least the MACD does. Here's this push into the 70s. All right, not seeing the continuation, but just gonna hold to see this momentum last little push here in the 70s. There you go. Converging line. Still getting tighter. I'm not even looking at the chart anymore, guys. I'm just looking at the MACD.
There you go. I lowered the music a little bit. That should help.
There you go. The MACD getting tighter shows me that the stock is going down. I don't even need to look up. I'm just looking at the MACD right here, guys. This is what's going to determine if we keep coming down. All right, guys. Seeing this bounce here? I'm going to go ahead and just take some off there. Hold up. Hold up. What happened there? Somehow I got out of there. It pulled me out of the trade, guys. I don't know. I didn't even know what happened there. I'm gonna have to review my video, see what I did. Normally I don't make mistakes like this, but I'm out of the trade, guys. I mean, it could not be a mistake, but that's not my intended target. My intended target was only to take half of that.
Here,
off there.
Up.
Not a bad trade at the end of the day, $96, but I'm not sure what happened there. I need to check it out. I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, I'm about break even on the day.
I see what happened there. So when it wicked down, guys, remember that order I had at 64? It actually filled me. So let's see my fills.
I'm laughing at the guy that I love the name Harry. Thank you for the sub, bro. Welcome to the team, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, covered at 74s and 81s. But at the end of the day, it's a great trade. So
Yeah,
let's just keep moving, guys.
Yeah, it was a good trade, brother.
Yeah, we don't want to look at it as a negative trade. Never look at things negatively. Just move on and try to. One of the things that I'm trying to implement in my trading, guys, is something I learned from a performance coach this weekend. One of the best things that I think traders can do is write down their emotion, their feeling, the moment they leave a trade. Literally, have a paper next to you and write down the emotion. Why is this important, guys? Because we need to know how our personality and inside self-awareness can feel. Because if you can understand how you feel, usually you can make better rational decisions. You know, when we want to keep this trade on, guys, is that converging line. You see how it converged and now it's about to cross? That's actually a good thing.
Wait. Here, I'll put you back up.
Yeah, let's explain, so I can explain the strategy a little bit here, guys. So you see the converging line. I got it off of overbought. Overbought is whenever this kind of pink line or white line is up by 100. Now we're moving into what? We're going to move into oversold area soon, which is below the 25. And that's when you usually get your moves towards VWAP and slightly below VWAP, and it can kind of catch there.
Hey, I appreciate the sub, Sebastian. Well, what's up, man? Welcome to the team, bro.
So as long as this keeps going down, this line here, and then you have the RSI going down, that's when I stay in the trade. The moment I see it bounce up or it doesn't cross when it heads down, that's when you have to get out also. This is one of those trades that you need to be high accurate in once you're into winning. If you go into the winning and you size up, but then you let the trade become a loser, this is not the trade for you. You need to be able to understand that I'm going to take 4 sizing at the top. If I stop out, oh well, it's only a fourth of my sizing. I should be able to take 4 trades before I take 1 full risk measure. And that's important. So it gives you an ability to add, and then eventually hold no matter what break even once you get a breakdown of the pattern. The breakdown really happened when it broke down this 4506. It broke down, it bounced for a second, and then washed out.
Sorry, guys.
What are we getting? The converging line. Let's see if this blue line crosses the 9 EMA here and goes down.
Sorry, guys. My son's throwing a fit, so I got to keep myself muted for a second. All right, I'm back. Sorry, my son's rioting over here, you know. Big surge up in the market itself.
So watch the RSI for MU. I'm watching it. I want to see it go down to 25. That would show me that it's heading towards the VWAP. And essentially, you could play the extension right back up, because that's the whole idea of this MACD, guys. It's not necessarily that this stock is bearish. Bearish would mean below this little blinking line that you see on my chart. That's when it starts getting bearish. But the whole key was here. It's a too far extension with a big resistance on the daily chart and the hourly chart up there. And that's when I started getting short. So if we scroll back on the hourly chart, Look at these resistances up there. You see how that resistance held up there in the 40s and the 60s? That's really the key and why I went after that trade.
Alright, so I made another trade on AMD. Nice green trade. Gonna hold the rest about roughly break even. I took most of it off. I'm holding 200 shares left. And I'll let the rest work around this whole dollar level. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, sorry, I was talking to my wife a little bit.
Interesting one that could break out is space. I like that bottom that it just held.
Alright, so here's the breakout of that level. I'm going to hold this about break even on this last little bit. Anything under really 60s or so, I'm just going to jump out. And any significant win up here, I'll take off as well. There's 67s. We get up to even 10, I'll take half off. I'm ready. I'm just trying to unload some risk so I can hold 100 shares.
See, like, momentum for me said to scalp MU there, but can't do that. I'm not scalping. I'm not a scalper.
I'm going to get out the rest there. Keep it light. Slowly just making moves on AMD. But yeah, I'll take that nice little win. Still kind of growing, grinding it up a little bit.
All right, there's the cross, guys. The cross, and what happened? The RSI on MU dropped from 2630s all the way down towards 16. That shows you confirmation there. Boom. Now, this is when I really wanted to take profit. 64s. It just hit it, and then it just went down. That would have been another 20 cents, $20. We're looking somewhere near $150. And when we originally entered the trade, we only risked 20, what was it? We got in at 29 and we risked up to 48, which is 20 cents on 50 shares. That's how you want to start this kind of trade. All right, this is when I can start seeing the slow up. The key is the blue line going to come back above, and is the RSI going to hold that oversold and start trying to move its way back?
Alright, so the market's pulling back some. We'll see what we have. If we could get some type of momentum break on the downside, I might take it. But at this point, we're still... The last, let's see, 40 minutes or so, 50 minutes, we've been somewhat sloppy with a big range. Not sloppy, somewhat sideways with a big range. So we've been sideways overall if you look at the entire trend on a longer term chart. But we've had a pretty big range to still have a lot of moves to take advantage of. Oh wait, you're in something, Mitch? My bad. Oh, no you're not. Okay. I'm still watching MU, but again, if we look at the SPY, this is what I'm really using to judge when I trade. So this is the sideways action I'm talking about. You can see the really obvious range here. And until we break that range, I prefer not to really trade anything. I mean, the last few trades I've taken have been based off of the SPY pushing above this level here, this 259.70 level. But until we get that, I'm just going to wait. As you can see, we're kind of rangy right now. Let me see if I can get this to where we can actually see it. I guess it's the size of my chart. That might be a little bit better. So if you can see this, the SPY is breaking underneath and holding that 259.70s level. And so MU is actually probably the lowest in the range out of all the stocks I'm looking at. And if it breaks underneath that previous low down there, I might consider it. Same thing with lift here, actually. This is a strategy I talked about this weekend, but if lift breaks under this level here, then I might consider shorting into it as well. It would have to break that though, and I'm just going to try to be patient with that and wait. I don't actually, man. I have Intel. Top 3 long term. Not really a long term trader.
There's that cross of the line. The line went below the 9 EMA. Now cross back up, and then you see this line, this RSI start moving back up. You could trade this on the long side. Those are trading extremes.
Yeah, D, if the screen's blurry, it's on your end, brother, so just refresh your browser, maybe.
One thing that I would say is, this was a trade that I wanted to add when I got that breakdown, and I didn't. And I need to work on that, and I will continue working on that. Reason why that ad's important is because that's the momentum down move. That last little bit can really make you a big momentum push, and then you hold the average cost at the break-even rate.
What's for members only? Channel members are just a way to help support us. Like, yeah, we have some like behind the scenes exclusive content, but it's mostly just meant as a free way to help support us. Like, we're just a free resource and community here, and so like we're not experts. We're not really charging people for anything. Like I said, sometimes we have like behind the scenes stuff, but becoming a channel member is just a good way to help support our free content here. Everything we put out there is free, and so it's just a good way to help support it. And yeah, that's what the membership's all about. I mean, we got a bunch of members, but still, they're supporting members. Like, they're just here to support us. All right, so here's the SPY's test of the VWAP level. Let's see what we get here. But
all right, one that I'm watching right now is Space, guys. I take a shot on Space.
Hey, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the team, man. I appreciate it.
I'm looking for another down push here in Space, and for it to hold like 25s with a risk of 16, and then when it comes back up through 1350s, it could break above that.
Alright, so the SPY just broke under the VWAP here.
Yeah, Tiny. What I would recommend is what I recommend to a lot of traders. If you don't have a lot of capital, but you need to get better at this game, at this process that we're building, what you need to do is try your best to stick to the smallest size possible. Even if you're paying more commissions on your trade than you're making and losing, this is going to give you an ability to keep an intro account for months at a time. And that's the important thing, guys. Remember, you need to at first gain experience before results.
100%.
And experience can only be done through live trading. And at the end of the day, guys, if you guys want to see those profits, what you really need to do is focus on the process. And that's what I really think TradeNet really helps you at. At the end of the day, guys, how much commissions have I spent today? I haven't taken a position over 200 shares. So I've only, every single time I'm getting in and out, it's like $1.50, $2. And so this limits the damage on the commission side, lets you keep trading. That's what you want to do when you're using intro accounts, we're using small capital. It's about staying in the business, not about making money. First, learn how to break even. Second, learn how to make money.
Right. 100%.
So, yep. And with that, guys, like always, guys, you guys can check out TradeNet. It's a really high quality platform, high speed, lets you trade long or short. Anything that's tradable will let you trade it short. What it gives you is really a funded account package. This is with the intro account as much as 14,000 in buying power. It lets you trade with no PDT. You can go long, short stocks. You don't need to borrow. It gives you access to not only a chat room, a demo account, but also a legit trading course for you guys to learn off of.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the cool thing, is that it allows new traders to get started and actually day trade for cheap, right? Like, that's the real benefit of it, is that for $3.99, it comes with a course. Technically, it's an educational package, so like it comes with a course and a paper account to learn, and then access to their chat room, so you can soak that knowledge up, which is important. And then once you're approved, you get 14,000 in buying power to trade with, and there's no PDT rules, so you can effectively day trade in short stocks with a significant amount of buying power. That's the real benefit, and I think it just makes sense. It's less risk for a new trader. A lot of the times, new traders end up risking thousands of dollars, and usually, let's be honest here, most of the time they lose that. And so if you could get in and actually day trade a big account for $400, I think that just makes a load of sense for a new trader, and it's the cheapest way a new trader can really get started in the market, in my opinion. And so here's the link if you want to check it out. Great way to help support our free content here as well. We do make a commission if you sign up through us, but it's a great way to help support us here.
Christian, you want a pro course for free? Well,
Sounds reasonable.
Win the World Series of day trading.
Yeah.
You could have won that pro account.
Yeah, he really could have.
Yeah, guys, one of the cool things is TradeNet does have these competitions. Every now and then, they will actually give you a chance to win one of those biggest accounts. I mean, who wouldn't want 240,000 in buying power?
Right, 100%. Yeah, it's fun, and I think the competition is a really good middle ground. I don't know when the next one is, but it's a good middle ground for a new trader that might not understand trading that much, that is just getting started. What you really got to understand is that pressure is what you need to understand as a new trader. You need to understand the pressure of trading with a real money account. And it's completely different than a paper account. You can try to emulate that as much as you can. But the reality is most new traders, when they transition to real money, they're just going to be flooded with different new emotions that they didn't have before. Right? And so with that, trading in the competition makes sense from a learning perspective. It makes a load of sense. And it's one of the ways that you can actually kind of get started and learn, is because you actually have access and you can trade a big account for cheap, which is rare. You're usually not going to be able to find that. With that said, though, they do have a challenge. TradeNet does have a challenge that allows you to trade a demo account, and if you make, I think it's $500 net in the challenge, you win a free intro package, and the challenge is completely free. And so at the very least, you might as well give it a shot. Hold on, let me put myself up. I'm actually in a trade right now. Sorry, I was talking too much here. I'm gonna sell another half here. Kind of bouncing back and forth, but anyways, I'll find the challenge link. But again, they give you a demo account with 10,000 in buying power. In a week's time, if you can follow their rules, and there are some rules, and make $500 net in that account, you win a free package on TradeNet. And so let me find that link. It's a pretty cool challenge. Here it is. Yeah, and here's the challenge link if you want to be a part of that. So you're not giving 14,000 in buying power. With the intro package, it's basically like a prop firm is the best way I can describe it. Right, I'm going to take another half off here and then just ride the rest for this $0.50 push on AMD. But no, so the way it works is technically it's an educational package, right? They give you they give you a package, right? They give you an account, and with the base package, you spend $3.99. It comes with the course, a demo account, access to their chat room, and then once you're approved, as long as you haven't signed up for 2 previous accounts, you should be approved. And then once you're approved, they allow you to day trade their account, right? And it's a $14,000 account with the base package, but it operates like a prop firm, and so there's a 70-30 profit split. And so if you make $1,000 net, if you bring that account up to 15K, if you bring that account up to 14K, or if you bring that account up to 15,000 from the 14,000 they give you, they're going to keep 300, you're going to keep 700. It's a 70-30 split, right? And then there's a $700 max loss. And so if you go under 13,300, they close you down. But again, it's still pretty good risk reward because you're only spending $3.99 on that package and the max loss is 700. And to be fair, I still think most traders are probably going to lose their intro packages as well. I think most traders are just going to lose. It doesn't matter where they go. But I do think it's objectively cheap for the amount of buying power you get. And it's one of the easiest ways to get started for cheap, if that makes sense. So here's the push. Like I said, I'm going to see if... I'm in Lyft, actually, not AMD, believe it or not. I thought I was in AMD again.
Space looks really nice, holding the 5-minute and 15-minute chart.
I am in AMD. I thought I was in Lyft for a second. Man, I'm off because I haven't been paying attention. Do you have to trade every single day when you're doing the challenge? So you have to trade at least 3 times. So you have to trade at least 3 days. I'm sorry. So you have to trade at least 3 days. You can't lose over, I believe it's $100 on any particular day. If you lose over $100, you're out of the challenge. And then I think it's $300 total. And so your max complete loss is 300. Your max daily loss, I believe, is 100. So I think that's how it works. But again, check out the link and look at the rules. There should be rules there explaining it.
All right, what looks interesting for me is Peloton to come back. It's definitely, I think, an oversold area.
Yeah, you should still be able to get the discount even if it's second time. Alright, so here's a nice little surge. I'm going to sell into that strength there and just bank that money and be done with this one. Up about $40 on the day.
I like Peloton, but I think I missed it already. On the 1 minute, it showed a nice bottom there at 28.10s. The reversal back to the VWAP, which would be 28.86.
Hey, hold it down, guys. I'm going to go help my wife with my son. My son is throwing a fit still. He's been doing it for the last few minutes, and so let me go calm him down a little bit and chill him out. Get into dad mode really quick. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes maybe.
All right, looking for a pullback to 20s here. 20s or 25s. And to get in 50 shares, look to add, but you got to be calm and patient with these entries. Peloton coming back, man. I think I missed that reversal. I was looking for her all day, but
Hey, I appreciate the sub, Herbert. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. What is a wash sale, man? I don't even know what that is, dude. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a fundamental investor, brother. I'm mostly just a day trader.
Looking for Peloton to pull back, man. That definitely did reverse. It just reversed way too fast. I didn't get it on the 1 minute. I've been looking at the 5 minute. Didn't see that drop to 28.10.
But yeah, for whoever was asking about a discount, there's the link if you want to check it out. But no, my son's okay. I think he just didn't get enough sleep last night. My wife's kind of holding him right now. He's 6. He's young, you know. Might look to long MU here, just depends. Just a quick short-term burst if I can get it. Haven't taken it yet. Yeah, I'll try to put myself up here. Watching the market pretty closely here to determine whether I want to take this or not. I'm just gonna wait. Hey, thank you, Malos. Thank you, bro. Man, we're getting a lot of subs today, guys, so I appreciate the love. Remember, hit that sub button, hit that like button. We almost got 150 likes, so hit that button as well, man. All right, I'm gonna jump in short or long. I'm sorry, on MU with 200 shares. We're gonna see if we can get a sudden surge up. Market's pulling back fast though, so we're gonna keep it pretty tight. See if we get just a quick little bounce here to take advantage of. That's all we're looking for. The market's going to dictate what happens here, really. There we go. Alright, gonna take half off there. Gonna hold the last 100 shares. See if we get a much larger push, as I have been most of the day today. Take another half off here and then hold the rest. See if we get up to the whole dollar, maybe a 45. That's my ultimate goal here, my ultimate reward target with this. There's 80s.
Looking for a quick dip, and I'm gonna take a reversal on OMI back to the VWAP.
Yeah, I just got out the rest there. Nice little $20 bill. Very easy trade, quick trade. We'll see what else we got. Market surging back up.
Looking for this to dip to 50 on the bid. That's when I'll get in. I can risk right off the 40s. 10 cents, 50 shares is nothing.
Oh. I mean, I'm technically an independent contractor, so I don't have to worry about that. And that's one of the, like when you're on TradeNet and TEFs, you're technically an independent contractor. So you're contracting for them. They're allowing you to trade their accounts. And like that's how they get around the PDT rule. But because of that, I just pay taxes like an independent contractor on any profits that I make. You guys feel like the market is getting sideways? Yeah, I think the market's been sideways. Maybe slightly down in the last hour or so, but mostly sideways for sure.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bullish just because I'm seeing MU bounce. TuxSec looks strong.
Yeah, for sure. Market kind of did a little rebound bounce setup.
that long-term bounce.
Yeah. Man, my hair's getting long though, man. How are you guys? I can't get a haircut, man.
Did you see my beard?
Dude, my beard, I can manage my beard. I'm not shaving it though because, like I said, I'm not superstitious at all, but my beard is certainly the reason why I'm winning, 100%. No question. But with that, I'm not shaving. Yeah, not even a doubt in my mind, man. I shave the beard, I lose. I grow the beard out, I win. That's all I know. You know, I'm gonna change the channel name to Beard Trading. You know, but no. Yeah, my hair is the other issue because it's like, how long is that gonna get? My hair is super curly, so it's like, I don't know. Should be interesting. In about 3 months from now, if I still haven't left, should be interesting.
Warmer looks interesting. Peloton coming back there, but you have to risk off the 25. Square looks interesting for a long-term VWAP bounce. I'm not trading those right now, but definitely does look good. All right, Omni got a bounce there, guys. Let's see if I can get a little pullback here, and I'll try it.
Yeah, I think we're at an interesting part with the overall market. Like that 259.75 level is an interesting resistance level, and so at this point I'm seeing if the market's going to break over that. But all the stocks I usually trade are a little bit too extended in one direction or another. AMD's actually breaking highs now, so just two up there.
All right, guys, got an order out for fill here. See if I can get filled here at 655s, 55 shares. See if I can get filled here.
Wait, the Flowbee is a... I'm looking it up now. It's a vacuum haircut system. Dude, that's what I need. You know? The worst thing for guys, though, is like my sideburns. That's what grows out faster than anything, right? If I don't cut them, you know. But like, you see all the cowlicks in my hair, man. My hair's crazy.
You got licked by a cow, John?
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I used to, you know, I think every teenager wants to grow their hair out long for the most part. So I used to like super shaggy hair. I look like Shaggy and Scooby-Doo. And then as I got older, I hated my long hair. So now I just want it short and easy. I used to wear a hat all the time so nobody could see my hair, you know.
Space pushing up, long-term flag pattern. I worked in that one.
Is there a one-time fee? So that is the one-time fee. So you spend $3.99, comes with course, demo account, access to the chat room. If you've bought less than 2 packages before, then you should be approved, at least I think. And then you get to become a contractor for them. But there are commissions. It's a no PDT platform, so there are commissions. They're roughly 0.0075 per share. Like 0.0075 cents per share. So, but there's a 150 per trade minimum. My suggestion is to trade. It's mostly mid and high cap platform, but if you can find big enough range stocks, you can always buy 500 shares or less. And if you do that, your commissions are going to be very small. Man, weird. Like lift the VWAP like cut off short. Let me see. On my chart. Weird. No, it's just blending in. Okay.
Let's see if we can get first numbers from New York today. I think that's going to change things if we can get it, or oil news. So I'm looking for it.
Yeah. What's up, Daniel? What's up, bro?
Boom. We'll go with this guy. New York doctor disagrees with Kumo's assessment of the coronavirus deaths are dropping. Dr. Stuart Dietrich, the team leader of New York's Pandemic Response Working Group.
Tables on the left are trade ideas. If y'all want to check out trade ideas, here's the link. There's a lot of good content on them, but they're basically day trading scanners. And not just day trading, they're basically a little bit of everything. But I'll post the link for them here. You can use promo code BT15 and get 15% off. And super customizable scanners. Like you can see, I have like a VWAP fade scan up in the last 5 minutes. This is stocks that have big volume and low float. This is stocks that are breaking highs of the day. And this is stocks that are also breaking highs of the day, but a little bit different criteria for this top one. And so these are all just scans that either I've built or that came already with the platform. And if you want to check them out, like I said, another good way to help support our channel. Again, you can use our promo code, get 15% off. You can use BT15, get 15% off at checkout. If you want to check them out, help support our channel with that as well.
I kind of agree with this doctor staying here. He says he doesn't agree with the assessment from Kumo because he thinks that the data that comes in through the state, which is then funneled through the federal level, is often flawed, especially during a crisis where our healthcare system can potentially collapse.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a strong indication there. Looks like I didn't get my entry there for 55s, guys, and so be it. Let her go. She didn't look that good on the 5 minute. She looked more on the one minute, so I'll let her go for right now. Omni.
Market pulling back a little bit here, breaking under that 259.70 level.
Yeah, the number that I saw go up that made me think that maybe this isn't slowing down is the amount of people hospitalized. Hospitalized number is still going up. If the hospitalized numbers go up, eventually the deaths can too.
Right, and that makes sense for sure.
The key is, even this doctor states, if we don't get 5,000 respirators by the end of the week, they're gonna have to start making decisions on who. He said 8,000 by this week, that they'd have to start making decisions on who's getting it, who's not.
Yeah, and that's the real issue here, is that we might not have enough beds and respirators for people, especially considering what the numbers have been. Sorry, I got into a MU trade and it's finally working out. Let me take another 200 off. Here, sorry. See, it's hard to manage because I take these quick. But this is my trade. I'm holding 200 left. Gonna see if we get that push up to 90s, and I'll sell it a little bit more into the surge if we get it for MU. But I'm currently up 105 on the day. Still pushing. Market's pushing up, so this should help. There we go. I'm gonna take another half off there. And then I'm going to hold 100 shares left to see if we get a further move up, and hold the rest pretty close to break even if we get it. Alright, I'm going to get out the rest there. Alright, so I hope everybody caught that. I'm trying to show people. There we go. Alright. So $101 day. We'll see what else we can find today. No, the paper platform shouldn't be delayed, I don't think. 18 patients. Nice, Gideon. Yeah, I hope so. I hope you're doing well, Gideon. I know you're a medical worker, so. But yeah, it's kind of a scary time. So yeah, up 101.22. Here's my P&L on the day. I've actually been having pretty good risk and reward. You can see my largest loss was $38, but both of my other wins have been 78, 61. So not doing too shabby there. I'm in Brooklyn right now, and the numbers at Brooklyn Hospital are off in contrast to the media. Yeah. Yeah, as long as people... go ahead.
My concern is, I was even mentioning it I was talking to some other traders this morning. My concern is, are we holding back numbers just to keep the panic low? And that's a horrible sign if we're doing that. I think that's just as bad as China's move. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But I really think that's a horrible idea if that's what we're doing. We're just trying to keep the numbers low, because if we keep the numbers at what they really are, then the panic would be bigger. More people will lose their jobs. More people will lose their long-term investments. They'll get out. They'll get scared. And I think that's really what's happening here, but it's kind of a dark truth that I don't want to accept.
Yeah, I mean, I think to a certain extent, damage control is necessary with like that type of stuff. Like, I think the difference though is I think like China's numbers are just so absurd, right? China goes from being the hotbed to saying that they didn't have any new coronavirus cases at some points this past weekend, and I think there's a difference. Like I said, I think we screwed this up in a lot of ways as well. So I'm not trying to act like America's immune, because like I said, I do think the U.S. and our government made some pretty stupid decisions in this whole coronavirus thing. Of course, they're never going to talk about them, and so all you ever hear them say is the stuff they do right and the stuff they do correctly. But the reality is like our government dropped the ball in a lot of ways. Still, I do think that China fabricating numbers is just so blatant and obvious. Like us, we're putting out numbers, and if we're fabricating them, it's probably lightly. But China's numbers, saying they don't have any new cases over the weekend, and trying to pretend like their graph is so far down relative to the rest of the world, is just complete and utter nonsense. I don't know if you've seen these graphs from China versus the rest of the world, but China's graph is just flat, and so it's one of the problems with a communist government, which is they're always going to fabricate things to look better versus a capitalist government, right? They're going to do whatever they can to look better than the capitalist government, and in that, it just hides a lot of the transparency. It lacks a lot of the transparency that you really want to see with these type of things. And again, I'm not even excusing the U.S. I'm sure the U.S. is, in a little bit of damage control and lower in the numbers, but it's not anything near the extent to what China's doing. And I think that China, it's so blatant that it's slightly humorous, to be honest.
I just think it's a different style. It's not necessarily fabricating numbers, but it's definitely, let's not test everyone, because if we test everyone, they'll know the truth.
Right.
And what was the first thing that everyone pushed for? Let's test everyone.
Right.
And that's not happening. And I don't think it's going to happen. Why? Because that will raise the numbers, thus creating more panic.
Right. And I think that damage control is necessary to a certain extent. I don't think it's like anything in government. Like damage control and being honest about it are different things. You don't want to.
I just think I think the people deserve to know if they're sick or not.
Right, 100%.
Whether they're old, young, or in the middle.
Right, for sure.
I think that's like a human right thing. You know what I mean? Not necessarily more, politics. I just think more, the human rights thing would be to let everyone get tested.
So I'm trying to find this graph. Well, that's actually super difficult. I mean, we got 370 million people here, so to get everybody a test, it's going to be very difficult considering how down manufacturing numbers are. I don't know how feasible that would really be.
Yep, and that could be it too. It could be that there's no way of testing everyone.
Yeah. I mean, then
there's no way.
Yeah, we got 370 million people here. My bad for interrupting you.
You're good, man. We're just talking now.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of tests. 370 million, that's a lot of tests to come up with when you consider how down manufacturing and how all the preventative measures we have to take in business. 370 million, that's a bunch of tests, man. Aside from it costing billions and billions of dollars, it is just hard to make that feasible, I think.
Yeah, I'm thinking just the long run. There's so many people that have asymptomatic symptoms, and so with
Right.
that's my concern, is that if we actually did test on people that were asymptomatic, separated them from the people that were actually clean, then we could get back to work.
Yeah, you can print some stuff. Sorry.
I think everyone wants to go back to work, but I really don't want to go back to work knowing that the person next to me hasn't been tested and can have asymptomatic symptoms. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next week. It's very vital for the market.
Sorry, talking to my wife, guys. All right. Yeah, I'll probably hang it up for the day, at least for now. I am up $101 on the day. Like I said, if anybody wants to use our platform, I'll post this link. Again, it's the cheapest way you can get started with no PDT rule, in my opinion. You know, if you really think about it, most new traders are going to lose, and this way you get a decent amount of buying power, and you can actually learn to trade without risking thousands like most traders end up having to do. It comes with a course to get you started, a demo account to test and learn before you trade the funded live account, and then once you're approved, it also gives you access to their chat room. And again, to be fair, I think most traders are going to lose these accounts as well, but it's just a much cheaper way to lose these accounts than to save up thousands. I think most new traders are going to lose, and I know they have the PDT rule, but I think the PDT rule is absolutely absurd, because I don't care what the gurus say. I don't care what penny stock gurus say. I don't care what everybody trying to sell courses says. A large majority of new traders are going to lose. It doesn't matter what course you take. It doesn't matter what guru you follow. It doesn't matter what strategy you try to use. Most new traders are going to lose. It doesn't matter how good their guru or their mentor is. Okay, that's the first thing you want to understand. And the reason for that is because trading is about conditioning. It's about conditioning your emotions. It's about conditioning your trading methods, and it's about conditioning your risk and reward levels, right? But to specifically talk about the conditioning your emotions part, that takes time. It doesn't matter if you're trading the correct strategy that has an edge. It doesn't matter who you're following. Conditioning yourself takes time in the market. It takes time to condition yourself. You're not going to get it right away. It doesn't matter what course you take, anything like that. And so with that in mind, because of that, you're probably going to lose your first account at least. And so with the PDT rule, if you make a new trader save up 25 grand for their first account, you are effectively making sure they lose $25,000 for their first experience into trading. And that's going to be considerably more devastating than if they lose a small $400 account. Considerably more devastating. And that's what they really got to understand, is that, yeah, you could say you're protecting new traders. In the end, you're hurting them. You're making them lose more as a new trader. The reality is most new traders should instead trade a small account that they're probably going to lose, and that they would be relatively okay with losing. Because if you do that, you're going to understand risk management. You lose 25K, you may never day trade again. You're going to give up and say, this is a scam, whatever, right? But if you trade small and you're okay with losing a small account, and you can gain that experience, it's usually going to take at least a year to get started and to really be profitable. But if you can do that, you're going to have a way better chance at succeeding. And so point of the story is, don't save up 25K and trade with that. You're going to lose that. It's going to be soul crushing. You know what I mean? Instead, go with a small account. I don't care where you go. We post links, and so obviously we're biased for them. But, you really got to understand that and realize that, like, look, a small account's what you need to do at the beginning. Here.
I think 100%. I've even just talked to a trader that had a really bad lesson in learning that swing trading or day trading with that much amount can be very dangerous, especially if you don't understand the levels and you start over swinging. You can lose that amount in less than a week. So I don't think anyone here wants to lose 25K in less than a week.
Yeah, I mean, Kate Giffords right. He says he's not wrong, but I hate giving up 30% each trade. Yeah, and I mean, that's the downfall. But again, I think they're giving you 14,000 to trade with, right? So, like, naturally, they're going to take a cut just like every other prop firm in the world. And it is what it is. You know, you can't really fault them for it. The reality is, you know, you're going to have to learn to trade, and I think it's the cheapest way to get started. You know, people hate on them, but trading's a very emotional thing. Right? Like, people lose money. It's really hard for people to be introspective and be like, you know what? I lost money because I made a bunch of dumbass trades. You know, sorry for cursing. The reality is most people instead are too immature to be able to kind of have that introspection, and so they instead blame their platform. They blame me. They blame Mitch. They blame YouTube. They blame their guru. They blame whomever, right? But the reality is, if you lose, sure, you're the only person to blame for it. But a lot of people can't do that. It hurts their pride. And so instead, they blame whoever they can. I appreciate it, Carlos. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man.
All right, guys, let's see if we can go ahead and get these likes up to 200, guys. We have over 200 people. Let's go ahead. If you haven't done already, let's hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's see if we can push it towards 200. I haven't seen it touched. Let's see if we can get it.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we've got a bunch of new subs today. We're up to 19.3 thousand. We're slowly edging towards 20K.
Tell you what, guys, if we get over 200, I might just take another trade here.
Uh-oh.
You guys push me into it.
Everybody's doing it, Mitch. Give them a little bit of peer pressure. Everybody's doing it, you know.
Oh, I'm going to see that number jump real big, real quick. They want to see that trade.
Just take one more trade, bro. Everybody's doing it, you know. This market has seemed to me it has no rhyme or reason to it. I mean, Kyle, listen, man. You could go back and watch every stream. Watch every stream in the last 2 weeks. Watch my P&L at the end of the day. I have been extremely profitable. I had one losing day last week. I think the week before that I didn't lose at all. And then today I'm up over $100. And so, you know, there's a reason, a rhyme and a reason to it. It might not be your rhyme or reason. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's a little bit different, and everybody sees things that others might not. You know?
Yeah, Kyle, what I can tell you is that it's okay to feel this way. Don't feel upset because you don't understand the market. I think that's one thing that happens to a lot of traders. They get to the point where they actually get upset about the market when it's not going their way. What you got to realize is that the market is its own animal. It's its own unique environment, and never 1-2 moments are the same. This is something that I talked about in my video that I just released yesterday. You guys can check it out. We could put a link for that. But definitely, guys, it states it in there, guys. No moment is certain in trading. So you can't look at it as right and wrong. You can't look at it as the market traded the right way today or it traded against the right way today. No, it just traded. And that's what it is, guys. Is that at the end of the day, remember, this is a pool of money, and any one trader or any big trader can really change the trade itself. So all you can do is stick in a probability mindset. That's the only way that you're going to win. And that's why I stated that in the thumbnail. If you really want to win, you need to start looking at probabilities. It's not about if I'm going to win or lose on this trade. Is if this has given me high probability and I've seen it over time in and time out that this can make me money. Those are the trades you should be in. Those are the trades that we need to take over and over again, because you've seen it not only in the strategy, but you've also seen it in your own trading.
I just posted it. Okay, it's up there. It's called probability in trading.
Yep. At the end of the day, guys, there's no certainty in trading. And if you're trying to find certainty or trying to understand the market, it won't happen. For a major portion, you can go back to the streams. January and February, I was confused on why the market was not coming down. I thought the market would drop big. It never wanted to. And guess what? Instead of getting frustrated, we have to look at the levels and just wait for things to happen instead of trying to anticipate or speculate. Look for it. Instead of always trying to anticipate it, look for it, and you'll get the charts to start going in your directions. The process will work in your direction. And that's really what matters. Sticking to that process, guys.
That's right. I'm not mad or discouraged. I've only been learning for 4 months. Yeah, and it takes generally, I would say on average, probably at least a year. The problem is that you lose money that entire time for the most part, right? And so most people can't handle losing money for that long. Another issue is that people paper trade, right? And they may make money on paper, but when they transition to a live account, it's completely different. Your emotions are completely different. No matter how much you try to emulate a real account with paper and emulate live emotions, it's just not the same. And, when real money's on the line and you're risking real money, your mentality and your attitude is going to completely change. You're going to sell too soon. You're going to hold it too long. You're going to make a bunch of mistakes. And that's what you really have to learn to handle. Losing is necessary to a certain extent at the beginning because that burn that you feel, that hurt, is what makes you try to avoid it in the future, if that makes sense, right? So it's like, if you do that, you're not going to want to experience that burn anymore. So you're going to try to do whatever you can to avoid that. And that's when you start to build real rules around your trading to help you, But again, those losses are to a certain extent necessary in the beginning because you need to feel that pain in order to want to avoid it. If you've never lost like that, you're going to trade crazy because you don't understand. But if you have, already,
Yeah, Kyle, it's not to make you an example, really. I don't know if you're feeling mad or discouraged, but the key is I've been there. I felt it. I've experienced it. When you think the market's going to go a certain way, you create a bias. It happens often. One of the best things you can do is start thinking in probabilities. We can't be biased in just one direction. All right, guys, seeing this kind of Omni start to get some volume here, I'm looking for one more pullback down towards the 650s. We've been holding here at the 650s for a while. I haven't seen those likes get to 200, so I don't know if I'll take this trade or not. We'll see if we get up there.
Hey John, I think I just missed it, but did you post the link to the pros and cons to trade? No, I didn't post the link yet. Or I don't think I posted the link. We have a review out there. Good way to put it. I would say a minimum year. What I do is every day I watch your streams and I use Thinkorswim on demand to learn how to trade. Your stream helps a lot to learn on what to look for and how stocks move. Yeah, for sure. The big thing is you want to start to understand trends, short-term, long-term trends. That's the big thing I would say in trading is understanding short-term and long-term trends. A lot of time on an intraday basis, you're going to be using the VWAP, which again just stands for volume weighted average price. It's a moving average with volume taken into consideration. But what it shows you is the short-term intraday trend of that stock. And so on a daily basis, on an intraday basis, if a stock is maintaining below the VWAP, it's technically in a downward intraday trend according to the VWAP. And if it's above the VWAP and maintaining and bouncing off of that level, then it's maintaining an upward intraday trend. And so if you can understand that trend, you might understand where certain pullbacks are going to happen, where a good place to enter and exit a position is going to be. And it really makes the most sense from that perspective, if you look at it and really start to understand short and long-term trends. Shout out to the Love Success in Life. Do you, for the $2 donation? He says, do you or the other person offer one-on-one coaching? No, we don't, brother. We'll try to help you out. Just message us in Discord, but we don't. It's not something that we can necessarily commit a bunch of time to because, like I said, we're not experts here. We trade. And I think we know what we're doing, but in the end, we're not experts or gurus or anything like that. We're not trying to charge people for anything. And with that, we're pretty busy as well. So, it's one of those things we could try to help. If you got questions or need advice, we'll try to help. But in the end, we don't really try to do coaching like that.
Yeah, the key here, guys, is not necessarily to learn exactly our strategies, but to learn our approach, learn how we take trading. That's what you can learn. That's what you can build from. And that's how you really get your skills up.
Right.
Understanding what trading really is versus just the hoo-ha, the gurus, the Lamborghinis, the money,
mansions, prop money,
the mansions. This is a hard game, guys.
Yeah.
This isn't easy. So if you want to do this, by all means, we'll be here every single day doing the same thing as you. But the key is keep building on your own skills, keep developing yourself. And that's really how you get there, guys.
Yeah, no, I lost my first few intros, marksman. I think the market is closed on Friday. But yeah, with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and close it down. Unless Mitch is planning on something.
Well, we didn't get to 200, so I'm not taking Omni.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I took it. I see the reversal to 90s. But I didn't get the 200. Where is it at?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let me see it. If I get a pullback, we can take it.
I'll give you guys 30 seconds. Well, maybe a minute, you know. Hey, no stress, the love, success. Yeah, like I said, we're just a free resource and community. Like, listen, we get a lot of hate. We really do. Like, people hate. I have people that obsess over this channel and just wait for the video to go live for them to downgrade it. People hate it so much. They get super upset. The reality is, yeah, so it says CME orders have been resolved. I see that now, Tiny. But yeah, the reality is, it's like we're just a free resource and community. Like, we teach people what works for us, but like what we do might not work for other people. You know what I mean? So it's like we just try to stick with what works for us, not be too, guru, mentor-y, and just kind of try to teach people what works. And, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Our strategies are only going to work are the most suited for ourselves. You know, like everybody has a different personality. Some people are going to have more patience. They're going to have, less strict, more strict, less patience, more patience, different preferences in trading. And so the strategies you see us take are both suited for our own personalities. And with that said, they might not work for you. You know, like my way of trading might not work for you, and Mitch's is as well. You know, it might not work for you either. And so you got to find what works in the market for your own personality and then use that and attack that.
Yeah, guys, just like I recommended for the love, the success, and the live show, check out all our free videos. If you really want to start learning, we have so much free content that you can learn from. There's so many different strategies. There's so many different approaches. There's understanding risk. There's understanding support and resistance. You can look at scalping trades. You can look at EMAs. You can look at our top trades, our VWAPs. There's so much things that we've already given you guys. So definitely just go ahead and check out all our free stuff that we give you. We always like when you guys leave comments. Comments help us get better videos for you guys. So if you guys do watch some of those free content today, check it out, leave some comments. It'll definitely help us out.
Yeah, guys, it looks like we hit the level, Mitch. So we hit 200. Yeah. And so, at least I think we did.
Yeah, we did. They pushed it. They want me to trade.
Yep. Give
guys.
them what they want, man.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm gonna give you guys what you guys want. But like always, what can we not do? Can't get extended here. I'm not gonna just go buy 670 because you guys got it right now. We wanted 655s for entries. We're more than willing on this pullback to 662s. The key here is we're getting the cross here on the MAC. I needed to come back below. Why? Because this is already getting up there near the 100. 100 is overbought signal. Okay, so we don't really want to pass that 80. 80 starts getting that overbought. 100 is seriously overbought. So we need a pullback to get in here. 62s would be that entry. I can look for another reversal too. See if I can find another one. Let's see if we can find another reversal. CCCL looks like it's trying to go to a resistance of 11. Looking for pullback. I want to get in Omni, guys, but I needed to pull back a little bit here. If not, there's no point in us just jumping in here. But you see that volume that's collecting there? That's creating this overbought. You see how it went to 100? Super overbought now. I'm actually looking for a pullback now. One thing that we can look for is stocks that are super pushed in one direction to reverse. That's the strategy. So let's look at ACB. Don't like it. CVS. CVS is looking a little bit more interesting. All right, let me show you guys CVS. I might take CVS to give you guys a trade.
Sorry guys, I had to mute it. I'm in a trade right now. I'm gonna take another half off here, up about 130 on the day. Yeah, I wanted you guys to see it, so I'm still holding 100 shares, and I'll put Mitch back up so you can see his potential trade as well.
No worries.
They gave us 200 likes, so I had to take it.
I agree. I took it too. I can't take Omni, guys. I'm already too late for that one. I think it's already pushed and making it to move up. So I'm going to take CVS here. Reason why? I'll explain it, guys. So the RSI down towards $9 or 9.7. So that's really a low. That's called oversold. It's an oversold territory here. And I have a support here at 56. Big support here at 56.
All right,
So I'm looking for this 38 hold.
Sorry. I got out of the last little bit. Here's my P&L real quick just to show you guys. Up 126.25 on the day. Yeah, the music's... yeah, too many people like the music options. Sorry, brother. A lot of people...
This here is going to be 30, guys. 30's at risk.
Wait, could you see my wife on here? Could you? If you could, let me know. I will always trade with you guys live. It just feels weird not to. Yeah, man, appreciate it. Like I said, it feels good. Like we have a lot of haters, but it must suck to be them because like they just have to watch us get bigger and bigger. You know what I mean? Like, how would you feel if like you had a dude that you hated, and then you had to just watch him become larger and larger, you know, and more people know about him? Like, it'd probably suck, you know. And so I kind of feel bad for him.
The truth is I think there is, what do you really want in trading? If you want to get better, then why not stick with people that keep working on their progress? You can't hate on us because we work on progress, and don't try to overextend ourselves any one day.
Right. Yeah, it's everything, man. Like, I'll trade small, they'll hate on me for trading small, right? If I trade big, they'll say I'm risking too much. If I'm losing, they'll say, you're not even profitable. If I'm winning, they're like, you're not profitable enough, right? It's like, you know, they're super insecure because it's like, in the end, it's human nature, right? Nobody wants to see anybody else do better than them. And so when you do, you know, especially with stuff like trading, you know, people are like, why didn't I create a channel like that? Like, why don't I do that? And the reality is, it's like, because you just didn't, you know.
All right, guys, the two lagging indicators I'm using today are MACD and the Scholastic RSI. We got a good look there. Now we need this RSI to get above 25. That's going to show us out of overbought area and looking to push towards VWAP. Where did I enter, Abby? You could see it here on the chart. It's 56.49, 50 shares. Very small entry. I look to take 1/4 of the entry first. I need to see confirmation before I enter the next 4th. Then I want to see the pattern, the short-term pattern, break down or break out. And then that's when I do another ad. Then you could look for an extension if you saw a massive amount of volume push in your area. The key to this trade is always to limit the risk at the beginning. You have to limit. Once you see the trade work for you, that's when you can take a bigger swing. But what must happen at that moment is you cannot lose on the trade, because if you do that, what ends up happening is you usually take a bigger share size and then you take a huge hit in your account. That's not what you can do in this strategy to be consistent.
You ain't doing it right if you don't have haters. That's right, man. You know.
All right, guys. So this is the mini pattern. All right. So I always look for a smaller pattern within the bigger pattern, right? So this was a little drop right here. We got a bounce here. It dropped here, bounce here, drop here. We can see a stop right here in this area, but it could go right back down towards that low. So this is the one that we want to see break out of. Okay. So we want to see it start breaking out of this small little capture here. What we want to see is this line start getting closer towards the moving average. So if we could see this line get closer to the 9, we can see it start pulling the MACD up. So the love, success in the live show, John has a tendency of only using volume as his indicator.
VWAP.
VWAP as an indicator on the chart, and the lower indicator is volume. But I'm using here a MACD in a Scholastic RSI.
Sorry guys, I got into another trade. I just took another half off there, holding 100 shares left. Wanted you guys to catch it. I'm up $153 on the day. I'm actually going to get out another half here, just so I can hold 50 shares and just kind of let that work and then throw Mitch back up. It's so over 150 day now. I'll put Mitch back up.
All right, the key is we want to see this hold up here. It's going to look like it's going to make an attempt, at least in my eyes, up here to the resistance, which is 65, 66. Then I would want to see 50s hold on the pullback.
Yeah, but with scalping, guys, like I've been doing here, the big thing is that I noticed the market start to squeeze up, right? Like there's the market push. Like the market just broke highs of the day, and that's the momentum I'm riding up on other stocks, right? I see the market start to squeeze, and then I jump in a following stock, and I take 10, 15 cents, and I'm done. You know, the last, 5 trades have all been green. I haven't lost 5 trades in a row. And so that's what you have to do with scalping, is that you have to take advantage of good accuracy, right? And I know myself, I know I can just nail multiple trades in a row doing this and lose very little. And so that's the essence of scalping, if it makes sense.
Okay, guys, so now what has happened? 2 things have happened here, right? We have to pay attention to the present here. The present is right now we got the Scholastic to break above 25. Like that's what we wanted to see. That's one variable, right? What's the other variable we need to see? We need to see a cross on the MACD. We're getting to that cross right now. We haven't crossed, but we're getting to it. So look for the pullback here. I'm looking for the pullback. If it just extends out here, that's fine. I'm looking for pullbacks here to hold, and then I can go ahead and increase when this breaks out through this.
Man, I really don't like my trading habits right now. I'm making money, so I keep doing it. I find a good setup. I add on a small pullback, and then boom, the stock fades hard. I mean, sometimes that's the way to do it, man. It just depends on how accurate you can be. Hi guys, new here. What's your chat rules? No promoting other content. No promoting competing channels or your own channel. Yeah. No hating, cursing, disrespect towards other members, other viewers. That's about it. No politics. in like a super hateful way. We could talk about politics, but no politics in like a super angry or like just a very one-sided biased way, right? You talk about politics, you can't scream at other people if they don't agree with you. Like we had a dude earlier that just got so mad for no reason, just super unstable. But you know, like I said, just keep it friendly. Most of the rules.
What do we get, guys? We got a cross, MACD. We got a push above from the low here, up there now 70s. So I'm looking for a pullback here so I can increase my position and look for the complete move. The key to these is patience. Patience and strict trading. Patience, strict. Why? Because we can't let ourselves lose big on these trades. Because we're essentially catching a falling knife or trying to catch a parabolic stock on the way back. And so with that, you always have to limit your damage for when you will lose, because it will happen. You need to limit the damage.
Yeah. Right, no spam in the chat too. That's another rule.
Oh yes, definitely not that.
John is a Trump hater though. I don't hate Trump. I mean, listen, I hate all politicians, man. It doesn't matter who they are. I think they're all full of it. It doesn't matter who they are. And you can pull the whole Trump's not a politician. He certainly is. And so it's not that I dislike them. I just don't trust any of them. Both sides. I think the left and right is extremely toxic, and that the media is probably the worst out of all of them. But it's not that I hate Trump. I just don't like any of them. Politics is so divisive, you know.
I think we got to get through this 5-minute candle because it could create another support. Let's get through this 5-minute candle, and then we could, if it closes above our entry, we can take a shot and hold break even with the rest.
I appreciate the sub, Robert. Welcome, man. As well as Michael and Ram. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, I love our chat. At least at the end of the day, guys, the reason I love our chat is there's actual value there. Too many of those chats you'll find have no value.
Yeah, for sure. I like our chat because they're like a bunch of pit bulls, man. If somebody hates, they just attack them. It's great. You know, it's like the gang, gang life. You know, don't hate on the gang.
Oh, you don't want to.
All right.
All right, guys, this is a long-term trend line.
Daddy,
Yeah, bud.
after you're done, can you see how smart you are at this?
Wait, what, bud?
After you're done, can you see how smart you are at this?
You want me to see how smart I am with this?
Yeah.
Man, you put that together by yourself?
Yeah.
Man, you must be really smart, buddy. And he's gone. Sure, buddy. I'll do that, okay? My son, Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, P. Thank you for the subscribe. Love the name. Here, not you. Sorry, Mitch. Here,
You're good.
What are you trying to get? Some paper? Here. Here you go. How long have you been streaming daily for? Years?
Someone tried to get us to have an answer for him for AMD. The only thing I can say about AMD is I'm not going to tell you to go long, short, whatever it is. But I can tell you the RSI is at 33. So it's kind of in the middle. It was sitting at 50 for a long time. I think that's what the chart looks to me like too. It's just sitting in the middle.
Hey, thank you, man. But yes, for the people asking it, how long have we been streaming daily for? That's every day for like years straight. You know.
All right, guys, it's about to get this candle to close finally.
I'm from Louisiana, Chris. I'm from Louisiana. I'll let Mitch answer his.
I'm from the good old state where legalization is great. Let's see if you guys figure it out.
Texas.
Texas. I didn't say guns, John.
Right. Hey, but freedom though. Freedom. You know. Freedom. You know. We're gonna criminalize a plant and throw people in jail for it, but freedom. You know. Freedom.
All right, guys. Need to see this hold here. It still hasn't hold. There's some shares going in. That helps. That helps what? Bag buyers. Have some bag buyers with me. I like that. I'm feeling a little confident, but don't want to add yet because I haven't really seen the bottom right here. If this holds 50 and then swings back up, that would be a bottom. Jake, I would never.
What is weed? I don't even know.
Use Roundup for that.
Could be Washington. That's accurate. Could be.
Could be. Could be. Except I would be scared. I'd be in my bunker for real.
Yeah.
Washington's scary, man.
Yep.
All right. Looks like we have about a little bit less than 3 minutes for this 5-minute candle. If this candle closes above 50, we'll hit the ad. Here comes the test. Look to see the volume that comes in here. You want to see bag buyers step up with you. That's going to show confirmation. And then when this 15 minutes push above 75s, it could really break out.
John's on that medicated CPT. Yeah, no stress, Terry. Happy it's working for you, brother. Yeah, my mom lives in Canada, man. My mom lives in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. My stepdad is from Ontario, and so I visited up there, lived up there for, you know, a good bit.
Congratulations, Terry. Keep working hard, man. It's good to have you part of the family, and great to hear that you're working on developing good habits and working on the discipline of trading. Because at the end of the day, as traders, what we can do is always work on a skill. Sometimes you can't get everything down packed at once. If you want to work on a skill like discipline, yeah, work on that. That's going to help you. Stick to those rules every single day. Build up that discipline so that you know when the time comes, if I need to take a trade and I need to take a big trade, I can hold to my levels. That's really what discipline helps. It builds up that confidence in your own abilities and your own process, thus helping you when you size up.
Yes, sir. Yeah, discipline, like I said, it's all a conditioning game, guys. You do something over and over again, eventually you're going to start doing the right thing. But if you've only done it a few times, you're probably going to be all over the place, and that's why new traders lose.
All right, 15 seconds here, guys, for this candle to close. Like I said, anything above 50 closing, we'll go ahead and take it, and then we're going to hold to right down to the support, which is right here, this 38 now.
You like the playlist? Thank you, sir. I'm a good DJ. It's not my music, just to clarify.
All right, guys, just hit my ad here. Now holding off at 38s. Let's go ahead and set a stop. 56, 36. Set the stop. From this point on in these trades, I normally am not a stop setter, but I've gotten to the point where I've realized that if I have a great entry and I know my risk and I know that stock shouldn't be back down there and I'm looking for reversals, I can go ahead and set the stop, because at the end of the day, if it gets down there, I shouldn't even be in this stock to begin with. So that's the stop. That's set now. Now we're at 100 shares. We need to see it break the pattern for us to add another 100 shares. Now we need to see it break through 56.70s. Just going to show a good sign on the 15-minute. That we found the bottom there at 50, and that we're making our move back up there to the VWAP. Glad you guys hit the like button. You know, this trade's taking a little bit longer, but hey, you guys have seen at least me take another trade here, set myself up for success. Like always, guys, we don't know if this is going to be a winner or a loser. The only thing we can do is take the trade.
Aim small, miss small. You've been watching The Patriot, Terry. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's actually the right thing, man. You really would just want to get yourself in the habit of calculating reward and risk on every trade you get into. That way you have a predetermined plan to follow after you enter the trade, because once you get into a position, you're going to be very subjective. You're going to try to influence, you're going to want the trade to go in your direction, and so your judgment is going to be a little bit more cloudy than beforehand when you're the most objective looking at the stock, right? And so with that, you want to just calculate risk and reward before you get into the position, so that way you have a, kind of like a instruction book to follow while you're in the trade, and you don't try to change it or morph it to fit what you want to happen instead of what the chart's actually showing you.
Yeah, I think there's two types of trading a lot. I see subjective trading, which has to do with more like scalping looks, momentum plays, stuff that are very, very short term. But with longer term trades, what every trader needs to understand is that risk and reward and probability is going to put you in the best position. With these kinds of trades, it's subjectiveness doesn't really help me here. I need to be objective, understand my entries, just take it for what I see. All right, guys, we're probably going to get a breakout here through the 70s. I'll probably go ahead and add, but probably going to be shutting it down here as we're getting towards the afternoon time. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy the day.
Yeah, it's looking good for you, bro. I like the ad spot. AYTU, I'm just having trading it. How do you calculate risk and reward? I got you. I got a good video you can watch on that. I got two good videos. Okay, one of them is a very short video, and the other one's like a full class. I'll probably post the full class. Here's the first one. It's the short one. It's called How to Calculate Risk Reward. It's just a very short video. Here's the link. A very short video on how to calculate risk reward. The other one is called How to Calculate Risk and Reward and Strategies. And so I'll find that's probably the better one, the longer one. And I'll post that here. Back when we did this, we actually charged. We tried to kind of experiment to see what we were gonna do, and so ignore any like ads in that video. We eventually strayed away from charging people for any type of content and decided to just upload everything for free. But yeah, there's the last video. Go check those out. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Mitch has a stop set where?
52s, man. Sorry about that. I got
no.
a little Nala over here. I don't want to ruin the show.
No, you're good, bro. But alright, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down. Been a pretty decent day for me. Up $151 on the day. Very nice day. Probably was running at least 80-85% accuracy today. I did not lose much at all. I think I lost twice, maybe, out of like 5 or 6 trades. Not a bad day. We'll see what we can get. Mitch is killing it in the market as well today, so we're going to go ahead and close it down. Remember, if you want to use the same platform as us, I'll post this link. It's a cheap way to get started with no PDT rule. Allows you to actively day trade short stocks for $400 essentially. Gives you a decent amount of buying power to trade with, and technically it's an educational package, and so it comes with the course, demo account, access to their chat room. And then once you're approved, you get to day trade a decent sized account. You get to short with no PDT rule. And I think that is extremely rare, and it's one of the cheapest ways a new trader can get involved in the market and risk less. Instead of risking thousands and saving up thousands, you can get started for $400. You're probably going to lose these accounts as well, but it's a much cheaper method, and you're going to gain more experience. And I think that's where it really shines. So there's the link if y'all want to check. Here's the link if you want to check that out. You can also check out Trade Ideas. Trade Ideas are legitimately, in my opinion, the best scanners in the game. Allow you to really customize them, build scans around different strategies and stuff like that. And you can use promo code BT15, get 15% off of Trade Ideas scanners as well. They're a great, referral partner of ours, and it's a great way to help support our channel as well, guys. But yeah, that's it for the day. Good luck in the markets, guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow, same time as always. Have a good day. Appreciate all the love and the likes. We had over 200 likes today, so I really appreciate it, guys. And yeah, have a good day. Good luck in the markets, and I'll see you all tomorrow.